I'm in the field, 2-minute drill, highlight reel. Let's review, what's the deal, okay? Watching footage going out of control. Buckle up, we got an hour to go, so let's go, that's straight heat. Ain't no chillin' around here. Back that back, Nat Chimps, how we feelin' around here? Got my whole squad in the building around here. If my name ain't on it, then I really don't care. Come on. 3-point stance, we advance. Ball in my hands, I don't take no chance. Touchdown dance, that's my jam. No hot takes, this is nothing but rants.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? Really like that. You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into an absolute terrific Tuesday here on the Film Guide Network. We got another absolutely loaded one for you tonight. We got more spring intel upon us. Had another big blue blood football program begin spring practice today. That's right, Kirby.
Dude, you're all over the alliterations.
Hey,
straight off the bat.
I'm telling you, that's how my brain works. It'd be locking into them alliterations. We got more spring intel, as I talked about. A lot of talking points there. SEC coaches and other coaches around the sport provide some comments around Lane Kiffin. The ultimate conclusion, they don't like that guy. We're going to talk about that tonight. We also have previewed a quarterback battle today on film. Some good stuff out there in Tuscaloosa, T-Town as we call it. So we'll talk about that quarterback battle tonight. Greg Sankey gave us a cautionary nug today via some quotes, and we have some of the biggest questions revolving some of the best football programs going into 2026 that we will address tonight as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. You know the deal. If you're watching us at any point right now, if you are listening to my words, I need you to hit that thumbs up button, okay? That's how we get put in front of new people, and that's who we're in the search for this offseason, the search for college football sickos like yourself watching this today. Tell a friend about the Film Guide Network. Let's lock in. How we doing on a Tuesday night, gentlemen? Jonathan, good to have you back for a full day of work. How about that? I know yesterday we're a part-time employee, full-time dad. That's important.
Yeah, already putting in both hours.
Attaboy.
Got to do it both ways. But yeah, doing good.
You guys plan to match today? How'd that
I
go?
mean, it's the same color shirt.
Okay.
These aren't even similar.
We're having a good day, though. Tuesday was a good one?
Yeah,
Right.
typical
Good
Tuesday.
Well, that's good Tuesday. Let's lock in for some good football. Ohio State played some good football last year. They're
Some
back.
good football.
Some good football.
Also
They're
some
back
bad.
to playing football up there in Columbus, Ohio today. Spring ball fully underway. I feel like this is one of those rare, like big-time, high-end football programs that we get a ton of access to during these times of years.
Correct me if
Right?
I'm
Like
wrong.
you're only going to get so many like team-issued videos out of Alabama. You're only going to
Right.
get zero video footage out of Georgia.
None.
You're only going to get so much individual period like video out of places like Texas.
Yeah.
Ohio State, I feel like sometimes I get to watch full practices up there on
Feels
my
that way.
timeline.
And this feels fairly recent to me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like the last few seasons. I feel like 5 years ago when Ryan Day first got there, it wasn't like
No,
that.
I think it was maybe not last spring, maybe the one before that. I do remember a big conversation happening of where they were allowing a lot more access to the program.
They were one of the first football programs that I remember allowing, like, hey, we're going to sell tickets to practice today. All this goes to NIL.
Yes.
They also have a student day. That's been a thing at Ohio State for a long time. They allow hundreds of students to come out there and watch spring ball. But nonetheless, we appreciate it as content creators because we get a lot of insight, or at least get a lot of visuals about what that football program looks like. For example, one of the most popular football players in college football and perhaps the best player in college football, Jeremiah Smith, looks to be a little bit leaner to me. I don't know how you guys looked at the footage today. Looked like we not necessarily lost muscle mass, but we leaned out. And I think it's important for him because we've become more, if at all, more explosive, if that's possible at all. So extremely excited to see what he looks like in what is ultimately his last dance, if you will, in college football. I think we should get some type of documentary started on Jeremiah Smith.
You think so?
Hey, just follow him around. Just follow him around just in case. Just in case he turned out to be one of them ones. I think he's going to be one of the ones.
I think that you'll still have plenty of college footage of Jeremiah Smith if he does pan out in the league like we think he does. I don't know if we need to go ahead and start.
Nah, full-fledged doc. Give me all the cameras. Give me all the access to Ohio State. Everything we need. Following Jeremiah.
I don't know if you can just give.
Give me a Twitch streamer. Send me. I know Kai Sinat's retiring, but just send him over there to Columbus, Ohio. We get full access. How about that? No. Okay.
I don't know if I'm on board with this one. You know, like I said, like if he pans out in the league like we think he does, absolutely, we'll have plenty of footage still. Also, I don't know how great of a person, and this is just because I don't know much about him, I don't know how great of a person Jeremiah Smith would be to have a camera in front of him 24/7.
Oh, he's not an outgoing personality.
Right.
This is a guy that's just all about ball.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much content there is to have about that guy.
What's up? You look like you holding the take it or something over there.
This is NFL rated. I'm sorry. I'm being
Okay.
distracted right now. But the Ravens have just backed out of the Max Crosby deal.
Can they do that? How is
Yeah.
that possible?
Trades aren't official.
Yeah, but he already threw the going away party. He did the podcast. He had a 15-minute bye-bye message.
Let's talk spring ball, shall we, Brooks?
Okay. It makes you upset?
I mean, we did just lose a 14th round
But you
pick
got some dogs, and now
And
you
it-
got Max Crosby.
and a ton of cap space that we were just like, oh, we can spend a lot of money now, and we no longer have that cap space.
Interesting. Anyways, you know what? I found something really, really appreciative. I found something about Ohio State fans that I really, really greatly appreciate about them today on my social media timelines.
What's that?
We do a lot of quarterback discussions and rankings and evaluations around here. And every time I talk about Julian Sayin, it's like 3 days worth of mentions from Ohio State fans telling me I'm a flat out idiot. When I point out, probably lack a lot of horsepower.
Yeah.
We're not like the biggest dude in the world.
Yeah.
We can't make all the throws in the world. We tend to underthrow a lot. We're tremendously accurate. That's great. But from a high end of a ceiling prospect, we don't play a lot of that big A++ ball up there as a quarterback does Julian Sayin. When I say those things, shut up, fathead. You don't know nothing about ball. Julian Sayin at 9. How disrespectful to the man who's the most accurate quarterback in college football. And then they see one video of Jeremiah Smith running a deep out, and that ball looking like it got sound effects lollipop, and every Ohio State fan and their mama is in the mention going, damn, he ain't got no arm.
Which, to my point, would be these are Ohio State fans talking about Julian Sayin. These are not outsiders. These are not people that don't watch Ohio State every single Saturday. These are lovers of the Buckeyes, guys that watch every single game of Julian Sayin last year. Did you not see it at all while he played last year?
This is why I respect it about him. Because, hey, don't you say nothing about my guy. If you do, I'm coming for you.
Right.
But I'm allowed to be critical of my guy.
But again, that's
new.
new.
Fandom.
This
I like that.
This isn't new. This
No,
isn't
no,
a
no,
new
no.
thing for Julian
This is
Sayin.
not a new development.
But
This has been the knock on him since he was a California high school football prospect.
And they're acting like this is a true freshman that just walked up on campus and are like, whoa, not at all what I thought this was going to look like.
Hey, but he could grow facial hair now.
Oh, okay.
This is the classic epitome. All college football fans are this. I know we're talking about Ohio State specifically, but the old adage of no one makes fun of my so-and-so brother, yada, yada, but me. That is what college football fans are, because behind closed doors, they will trash, man, this guy's not the answer. This guy's not going to lead us to the promised land. We need to bench him so-and-so. But as soon as a media member or an outsider, yeah, they suck. Immediately, you shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. That's our guy.
In the same breath of a timeline, though, I see the negative comments about how Buddy don't got no arm strength. And then I see 2 tweets later underneath my timeline as I'm doom scrolling, getting ready for the show. Mm-hmm. And I see somebody say something about Tavion St. Clair, talking about how he's going to be so great for Ohio State next year. You think Julian Sayin's about to be a 3-and-done? This is news to me. Do y'all think Julian Sayin's about to be playing 13 or 14 more games in college football, being a first-round draft pick?
I don't envision
I don't see that going that way.
I don't envision him being a top 32 pick.
I don't
in the
either.
NFL draft.
I envision this being, you're going to pay me $2 million to be a Power 4 starting quarterback. I'm going back to college.
Yeah.
That's what because that's the line we talk about nowadays with quarterback. This is like Julian Sayin's a good football player. I don't mean to say he's like poop. All right. But with when we're talking about whether or not he's going to early declare or whether or not he's going to be in Columbus, Ohio the next 2 years or in college football the next 2 years, what we have to talk about is whether or not, hey, are you going to make $2 million in college football or are you going to be a third-round draft pick? You're going to make $2 million in college football and delay that third-round draft pick. That's what you're going to do. That's what all of these guys do. That's why there are so many older football players in college football nowadays, specifically at the quarterback position. It's a high-value college position.
Going with that, what if there, and this is a theory.
Trinidad Chambliss fits in the same category, by the way,
For sure. But
with
what
regards to NFL draft profile.
What if he walks that line of where it's like, hey, Julian, maybe you should go to the NFL draft, and then Julian's, no, I'm happy in college, and then it's finally like, all right, well, you're not starting for Ohio State this year.
Very much so could happen. Tavion St. Clair is really, really good.
Yeah, so that's just
really good.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah,
as
maybe
well.
they were insinuating that like this is the last year of Julian Saying fans are butts.
What do fans know?
Yeah, what do fans know?
It is a possibility of like 2025, 2026
Chris Henry
ends.
Jr. looked like an all-pro stock blocking.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
The one clip I saw of him today, that was it.
He was stock blocking. Mm-hmm. We love that.
I'm glad people are picking up on the bit, though, because when I saw the tweet and then I watched the video, I was like, what are we talking about here? And I'm
trolling.
like,
We're trolling.
Everybody's picking up on the bit now.
We're trolling the TL. You know who's not picking up on the bit? And we find this every single time. Now, I'm not going to call nobody out. This happens everywhere. But the amount of media people that get access to practice this time of the year and then they go out there and tweet some videos and expose themselves for their lack of ball knowledge.
Yeah.
I saw somebody labeling a bunch of, quote, back shoulder throws looking great out here with some back shoulder, not a single back shoulder throw on the video. They were just throwing routes on air, pack and go is what we call that in the football world. It's called pack and go.
This more than anything is probably what I get secondhand embarrassment from. Because it's obviously people that are aspiring to get into this field and are very excited to have access to a spring practice event and stuff like that. It's just like, oh no, they're going to get cooked. And
or like when an offensive lineman is very clearly driving a one-man sled with a flat back and like about to fall over on his face, pushing it so hard. And the quote is, working on some pass protection today. Nope. But, hey, those are the non-ball knowers getting caught up in practice footage. Mm-hmm. I think another thing that we saw last week, which, again, not to name any names, but, hey, man, NFL or college position coaches do drills for a reason. They're not out there just dicking around. So if they do a drill that you think looks kind of funny, I probably wouldn't go on the timeline and get all lippy because they probably have a reason why they do that drill. We saw a former 12-year pro make some comments about a position drill. I saw the vision. Mm-hmm. I saw what we were trying to do. It very much so looked like, hey, we're working a single man double team. You got to open the hip to a linebacker working over the top. Like, it made a lot of sense to me from a football positional drill standpoint. I see a lot of people sticking their foot in their mouth this time of the year on accident.
Yeah, and I think this is all a product of the fact that part of the reason why I dislike spring a little bit is because we go so long without having any sort of football.
Everybody's got to have a take.
You got to immediately jump on the takes of this is idiotic, this is this, or, oh, here's something that actually isn't what I say it is because I don't fully understand what I'm covering right now. So there's a lot of that you have to wade through in spring, which kind of makes it hard, but it does bring more enjoyment to it because there's more to talk about, more to discuss. But I do think that's a product of we're just excited for football and we got to get these takes out.
I'm so excited for it. I got caught up by AI today.
The arm tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Brother. Drew Mestermaker with a dark visor, Heisman. And OSU tat on the bicep.
Yeah, I think
spinning some seeds.
I think the giveaway
preseason college football playoff team, Oak State Cowboys.
I think the giveaway there for me was that was way too stock of a logo to be a tattoo.
Yeah,
like, that looked like when you're putting tattoos on
you
your. You
gotta get a little cowboy man on your bicep. Or I was watching 22 Jump Street the other day. Maybe get the Zook. You know, a little bazooka.
Oh, yeah.
Good
movie.
They call me Zook.
I also think that we're almost done with the idea of college football players getting their logos tattooed.
Think so?
I know every now and then they go viral for it, but
I don't know about that.
He hasn't been on campus for more than 4 months.
I mean, there is a Georgia football player who has a yellow jacket and a G because he played for a high school team with the Yellow Jackets, and now he plays for the Dogs.
Right, but that's different. That's not like
That is exactly what you just described. The era of people tattooing logos on their body. I just gave you two.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
On one canvas.
My bad.
Now, the last name across the back, I think that's aged poorly. That probably doesn't happen anymore. We still got folks tatting their name on their back. Oh, this one. The initials on the triceps. Get out of here. A little B and an A on your back of your triceps, you look like a DA is what you look like.
Yeah. It is interesting how trendy tattoos are.
Early aughts was the barbed wire on the bicep.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all even – and then the tribals.
The flames across the back.
And now this new trend of quarterbacks getting the half lower sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Forearms.
upverse now. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not a tats guy, as you can
I
tell.
have no experience with
No tats on the
tattoos
stage,
personally.
right?
No.
None.
You'll
I'll never
see a
I'll
tattoo
never
on
get
my
Really?
body.
Bro.
Never.
I have a tattoo in mine. I just don't know what I'm. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm a tat guy.
This side of the room does not do needles. Nothing against tattoos.
Apart from my wife and recently sobriety with alcohol, the idea of forever scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there forever.
It's not about the forever part for me. It's purely for the two facts. One, there's nothing I want permanently on me. Like there's nothing right now where I'm like, I got to have that on my body for the rest of my life. And two, I would not enjoy it. I just can't do it. There's nothing about it where I'm like, this would be worth it.
I will not pay hundreds of dollars to lay down on a table and be stabbed by needles multiple times.
If you got some,
Good
nothing
call.
against you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
call.
hey, I'm good.
Nothing against tattoos at all.
Hey, John Summerall hates number 50. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't know who number 50 is, but John Summerall is on your ass.
That was a
Not the hardest worker.
No, I mean he was brother-in-law. He wasn't giving a rep. You gotta give him a rep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta give a rep. Now, Florida fans all bought into the Summerall. All bought into. All it took was a couple fiery clips at practice, and they're like, "Whoa, we've gone 8 years since we've had one of these."
He's better than Billy.
Y'all really hated Will Muschamp for being that though. But yeah, I love everything. But it's kind of we're getting a little too much.
It's a little too stagey for me.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel very authentic. Now,
Did you hear the new quote today?
What was it?
About the anniversary trip to Italy.
Oh boy.
No,
I already know where this is going, but
Yeah, so
go ahead.
he and his wife scheduled a trip to Italy for their anniversary, but that was scheduled before they were taking the job at Florida. They took the job at Florida, and he had to tell his wife, "Can't go to Italy no more. We got too much shit to do."
So wait a minute.
So he didn't care about his other job all that much, but now that we're at Florida, we got to care? Almost like we're upstaging what we were at one place, and now that we're at a different place, we got to upstage ourselves a little bit.
This reeks of the whole showmanship of like, I'm the hardest worker in this room. 2 hours of sleep, got 2 jobs. Let me post the graphic. I am very quickly souring on the Summerall.
It's why I brought it up. I'm still holding stock. I still think I'd play for the
Good
guy.
on you. Good on
I
you.
still think I'm going. I still think I'm buying all the Florida stock, especially because of Buster and Brad White.
Yeah, I mean,
But
look.
every time on my timeline I see one of these, I send it to Kirby, and I'm like, you might be right.
And that's what sucks
you
about
might be
this.
right. And you were on it early.
That's
You
what-
were so on this of like, we called it fake toughness in high school, like loud barkers. You're
Yeah.
you're fake tough, dude. You're not real tough. Real tough walks and ain't got to say nothing. You're fake tough.
Right.
It's fake work.
And
It's getting his virgin on fake work.
It is looking that now. Again, this is all results based. If they come out and they have a really, really good season, they give a couple
Exactly.
teams swears. Like this all is validated. But right now, this doesn't look great.
And that's what I was going to say is like, I believe in what Florida is trying to construct right now. I think that there is reason to believe in what Summerall and the staff is doing right now will ultimately end up producing results for themselves, but it gets harder and harder and harder to believe in those things every time I hear that guy in front of a microphone.
He is likable.
Yeah, he is likable.
like
He's
He
likable. He's
It's-
relatable. I think so.
I don't want this segment to be like we're all tearing down John Summerall because
No,
it
again,
is kind of like that. But there are a couple of things where it's like, just be yourself, man. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all you need to do in life. Be yourself.
I looked at Urban Meyer and I saw I couldn't hear. I wasn't listening. All I could think about is I'm talking to myself right now. That was a bit much.
That's like a.
It's a bit much.
Yeah. That's like a
th-
TV character.
I
Yeah.
read that stuff and I'm like, man, come on. We ain't got to do all this, all right? We don't have to do this. Don't be so heavy-handed.
All right. I want to hear some of these Lane Kiffin quotes.
Dude.
Hit the like button on the stream right now. Fire off in the chat. Big dubs. This Lane Kiffin article from The Athletic. This is one of those we're going to poll anonymous coaches and give them the what do you call it? The sanctity of anonymity. No one's going to know that you said this. Feel free to say whatever your true heart's desire. And boy, did they take some aim shots at Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I think this is a part of the offseason that we haven't labeled yet that I completely forgot about. Anonymous coaches giving sound bites season. This is peak time for
I think
that.
there's two peaks of this. Preseason playoff time when we get opinions from other coaches. That guy's shit.
Yeah.
Like we heard a lot of Lad McConkey can't even fill out a jersey right before playoff time. That time's peak time and off-season time's peak time.
Yes.
I think off-season time's number one peak. You're correct, though.
But yeah, no, in all of these, anonymous interviews, the main theme and takeaway from this is that people do not like Lane Kiffin and feel like even if he does succeed at LSU, which some of them said he will, it'll be just because of all of the things that he's been given. Like the one quote I have is, I think he'll have every resource he ever wanted and desired and complained that he did not get in Ole Miss, said an SEC assistant. He'll have that at his beck and call. It won't be for lack of resources. In today's world, I think he's always been on the front end of the portal. It won't be for lack of resources if he doesn't get it done. Like basically saying like, if he doesn't get it done here, he's got no excuses.
One dude was like, I hope he loses every game. There was one quote there was like,
those at the end, yes.
It's like LSU's the best job in the country, but I hope he fails.
Yeah, another one said, combine how good a coach he is, love him or hate him, and now he's at that place where he has all the resources to do it. Yes, he'll win. That was a MAC head coach. So, I mean, MAC doesn't really run in the same circles as LSU, so I feel like the animosity there is probably not as much. Another quote says, what Lane has done really well is he has learned from previous experiences. He knows what truly matters and that he's going to get good players in a good scheme. I think he's leaving Charlie alone enough to do his thing. That one felt a little bit more, you trying to get a job, bro?
You applying, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, where was that coach from?
Yeah, also, like, what has he learned from experiences? What do you think he's taken? I mean, what have we changed about ourselves other than sobriety?
I don't know.
I thought he's only been empowered by all of this.
Also, Sam Levitt not.
Buddy, I was going to let you know. I was going to ask you, which one of those coaches you think tipped me off and perked me up just a little bit?
Now, this is a Big Ten assistant, but
Big Ten assistant knows ball.
If he gets the right QB, I think he will win. But I don't believe in the Levitt kid, to be honest. He gets too emotional and makes too many mistakes. He actually reminds me of former Ole Miss quarterback Matt Corral.
Guy knows ball. Frantic playmaker is exactly how I describe that guy. Me and this Big Ten assistant need to talk some ball together. I think we see it similarly.
Watch the film study.
Perhaps we already have had conversations.
This one's honestly probably my favorite. God, I hope not. But there's no reason why he shouldn't win there. So I'll say yes.
And this is the funny part to me is that this is an American Conference coach. So this guy has not intermingled.
No reason.
There's no reason for this guy to be fearful of Lane Kiffin or maybe even have beef with him. And he's out here like, nah, that dude sucks.
Bro, the Mountain West
downfall.
The Mountain West doesn't like him either. He said, I hope he doesn't. I was actually rooting for Ole Miss to win it all after he left. Obviously, he's a good coach, but I'll say no because I can't imagine leaving my team like that in the playoff.
Here's what's the most...
This is someone who's clearly never been given an offer like that.
Yeah. This is what's craziest. The craziest part about this whole enigma that is Lane Kiffin to me is that from an outside standpoint, he has become one of the most unlikable human beings and characters we have in this industry. All right? Outsiders look at this guy and they're like, there's no, chats right here, like POS, like, right? All these comments from all these coaches, they do not like this guy. They actively root for him to lose. Yet when he leaves a place like Ole Miss in the middle of a playoff, his entire offensive staff's like, when's the bus leave to Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
So he must not be that much of a piece of shit to work with on a day-to-day basis. Like, honest to God, he must be totally different on a day-to-day basis with the people who are actually important to him and that actually matter than whatever the outside narrative that he allows to. And he creates, by the way. He creates this noise around him. He must be totally different. And the only person I keep reverting back to with this discussion about how different he must be is Charlie Weiss Jr. If Lane Kiffin wasn't enjoyable to be around as an actual person and enjoyable to work with and enjoyable to be with all the time, Charlie Weiss Jr. would have a big-time job paying him $3.5 million somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak too much to what Lane Kiffin is like behind closed doors because I've never experienced it. But, I mean, I think it is obvious that people view Lane Kiffin, whether you like him or not, as someone who can accelerate their careers. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the amount of guys that he has kind of produced for his own coaching tree is impressive. It seems like if you are an offensive staff member under Lane Kiffin, you will probably get a new promotion at some point just because of how successful those offenses have been. So, I mean, there's a give and take. I understand why some people don't like him, but I can also see the reality where a lot of people go, yeah, that's the guy I would work for all the time. And that's just certain things. Like some people rub you the wrong way. Some people you work well with.
And, it could be one of those things, too, where it's like, how much tolerance do you have for this? People who are like, this applies to like any business or any type of career path that you're trying to have. At some point in time, you likely have to take some form of internship. You may not like what you're doing, but this is a necessary portion of what you have to do to get to the next step. So, hey, maybe my boss is a bit of an ass, but this is the best place I can be for where I want to go in the future of, hey, I've got 4 years on my resume of being with arguably the best in my business. That might help me get the next job.
The coach was like, I was rooting for Ole Miss to win. I would never leave my team like that. Did you mention that? I heard you mention the first part of the quote, but did you mention the final bullet
I
point?
couldn't imagine leaving my team during a college football playoff.
Yeah.
And this is
like,
the Mountain West?
Okay, Mac, coach.
Yeah, it was the Mountain West.
I'm not sure you got to worry about that right now, buddy.
No offense to that guy. Seemed probably a really good coach, but at that point, like, you haven't been offered millions and millions of dollars.
Would you deal with the noise? You're right, and I think someone mentioned this. All that matters is results. You got to win football games.
Right.
Yeah. He does that.
Yeah,
I do think it is worth noting about this. And the talk was about national title. Does he win one down there at LSU? This is the first time in his coaching career, apart from the 36 months he spent as the USC head coach, where it's not expectations, it's demands.
Yeah.
The demand is that while you are here, you win a national title. It's the first time this guy's had this in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is very new to Lane Kiffin. It used to be, it was like, hey, you win 10 games a year here, and we might give you coach of the year, build a statue outside of the place until we want to burn the couches because you left. So it's new for him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to be changing anything about his process, though.
No, but it is interesting, too, because that we mentioned, and I don't want to besmirch Lane Kiffin, though, but his track record of living up to expectations has not been fantastic.
I mean, we haven't had any in 20 years.
But even
at this rate.
No, I'm like, even so, like 2020, like obviously 2025, they exceeded all expectations.
Yeah, you're talking about the 24 season.
Yeah, that was they're putting all their chips in, it feels like, and they went 9-3. And like, there's been a handful of other times where it's like Lane Kiffin's teams are at least expected to do certain things and they don't deliver. So it'll be interesting to see.
You're a one-loss SEC team with 4 games to go. All you got to do is win 3 of the 4, and you lose to Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah, the losses that have
and the other loss was Kentucky at home.
That's tough.
And those things will get you. So that's a good rehash of that because he did have expectations that year.
Yeah,
and we fell flat.
Mm-hmm. Now you're right; they've never been win us a national
title.
The
demand is you do it.
Yeah, there's just demand.
The portion of where he did have expectations and he failed to meet those expectations, it wasn't a scenario where it was, oh, we got beat by a really good Georgia team and we got beat by a really good Alabama team. It was, we lost to some of the worst teams in the conference. Mm-hmm. That's why we're not in a college football playoff. We did the hard part. We couldn't take care of the easy stuff.
Yep. All right. So that's that. We got some top teams that got some big questions. I think this is going to be a revolving theme around college football moving forward is like we get to the preseason and we're like, hey, this team looks really, really good. But, man, they got a hole here. This team looks really, really good, but they got another hole that's completely different over here. And I think that's the nature of college football nowadays. I think 10 years ago you could find a perfect football team on paper preseason. Mm-hmm. Hell, you might be able to find 2 or 3 of them. Nowadays, I don't feel like we can even come close to doing that because we're going to poke holes through the top 12 teams right now.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. Biggest questions for the top teams. We ranked them 1 through 12. When I say we, I mean I. Number 1 ranking preseason, way too early pre-spring right now amidst spring practice. Number 1, the Texas Longhorns. Boys, what is the biggest question on the Texas Longhorns football program this year.
Now, considering what you just said, though, I would say that this is the closest that I had to, like,
A whole football team,
I would say, because, like, immediately my mind went to the defense. But then again, I was like, it's Will Muschamp, and they have immense talent over there. They've recruited really well on the defensive side of the ball, so that's not even a concern. They did all they needed to at the wide receiver room. They added a running back. So ultimately, it boils down to the offensive line for me. It's like literally all it boils down to for me of can they hold up this year? Can they keep Arch Manning upright? Can they be efficient enough in the run game? Can they be consistent enough in the run game? If they can do those two things, then I think that you almost do have a perfect football team for Texas.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to follow up those questions with anything more pertinent than that. It is all basically revolving around the development of Arch Manning, how you protect Arch Manning, how you run the football, how you set it. It's basically what can you do to set Arch Manning up for success? Because they did a horrible job of doing that last year. Yeah. The offensive line was not great. The running game was not great. It felt multiple times that Arch Manning basically had the game put on his shoulders. All to boot, he's in his infancy as a starter, and he's injured now. So what can the Texas Longhorns do to make Arch Manning's life easier?
I think they threw plenty of quality bodies at the offensive line, reshaped it enough where we should get better up there. Bringing back Formsby is really, really important.
Yep.
Gooseby, the tackle. Great pass protector, got to get better in the run game, all that above. But I think my biggest concern when I look at Texas's roster is they're very, very top-end loaded. And this is a football team. It's great to have 22 great ones, but we expect you to play 16 football games. Like, I expect you to be playing well into January. That is my expectation for the Texas Longhorns this year. And the only thing that might inhibit them is we get into game 15 and 16, and now the ones might be banged up and the twos need to get burned. Their twos haven't gotten playing time. Their twos haven't played a lot of football. For example, like I love Tyler Atkinson. I think Tyler Atkinson is going to be great. He's a true freshman. I love Justice Terry. He's not going to be available this spring. He's going to have to play this year. And so if our ones get banged up, like what does the fall off look like from Cam Coleman to their backup?
And this is a team
because he's in Oklahoma. He's in Norman right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
right.
This is a team that experienced this, of what happens when your ones go down. Like, they were banged up in the offensive line at points last year. The running back room was depleted at times. The secondary was banged up with injuries. And you saw those issues start to reveal themselves of, maybe things weren't great when we had the starting unit out there, but now things are getting worse and they're deteriorating because we don't have the depth right now to continue to compete on a week-to-week basis. I
think the 2 and 3 deep at Texas is extremely talented. But there are a bunch of guys that haven't played a lot of football.
Yeah.
They have this, and this is what happens when you recruit like a high school football program, or you recruit based off high school talent, and then in one portal class you go sign 18 impact football players. Now we have a bunch of high-end starters and a big gap between guys who've actually played football. So that would be my only concern there. Moving on to our number 2 offseason ranked football team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For me, guys, it's O-line play. They were not good enough down the stretch towards the end of the season against the top-tier units. Now, part of that could be the fact that they didn't play outside of Texas a top-tier schedule during the regular season last year. When they faced dudes, they got sacked a lot. I believe they gave up 7 sacks against Indiana and another 6 against Miami. Like, it was problematic up front. I also think there's questions about how much better the quarterback can be in year 2 as a starter. I'm bullish on the 25 and in. I think he's dynamite, everything. And we got to find some horsepower. I think even Ryan Day talked today about finding some additional additives with your legs. Like, we got to be a better athlete this year and actually force and stress defenses to create problems. But another major question, 2 more that I have. Dude replacement on defense. We're going to talk a lot about this with Georgia. If you're a high school-based recruiting asset, like you recruit out of high school, blue chip status, we develop. When we lose dudes like Caleb Downs, when we lose dudes like Arvell Reese, when we lose dudes like Sonny Styles, we're going to replace them with 4 and 5 stars. We are. Like, that's what you do. That's what you are. So how good are those football players? How much have they developed behind closed doors? I think the biggest question for them, first time, long time for them, they always have a dominant X. They have for the last 10 years, it's felt like that Ohio State. Who's the Robin to Jeremiah Smith's Batman?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Brandon Ennis, who's I don't think available for spring ball? Is it going to be Chris Henry Jr., the true freshman? I know he's great. But who is y'all normally have another 900-yard receiver?
Yeah,
track record for them shows.
It's going to be somebody.
Right. But I would also say they don't just recruit great at wide receiver. Those guys are ready to play. Those guys show out as a true freshman. That's why I was quick to throw out Chris Henry, because track record for them indicates of when they get one of these guys on campus, it isn't just, all right, tread water for a little bit and then full on swim. It's usually, hey, you're out there, let's go.
They did lose 2 of their top wide receiver targets in their 2025 class to Notre Dame.
They did.
So there is some depth there that got cut out when Hartline left to go down to South Florida.
I would piggyback with you off of the defensive discussion, though, because I know that the offense was great at times for their schedule last year, but last year's schedule is not this year's schedule.
Yeah, they didn't give up 17 points in a single game last year.
Exactly. And so having to replace that many first-round picks on your defense coming into this season, your defense was a major reason why you were so successful and why you were so dominant last year. And how many situations are you going to be able to replicate like that this upcoming season? Defense was held up for you in crucial moments last year. Can it still do that? Because I don't know if you're going to see much change in the offense.
My question piggybacks off what you're saying, because I think there is the expectation that the defense is going to take a step back. I mean, look, it was, for as good as it was last year, it almost has to take a step back. I think back to why Ohio State struggled last year and why Ohio State lost games. It was because their offense had an inability to be explosive at times. Mm-hmm. They lost that game in the Big Ten Championship to Indiana because they, frankly, were unable to move the ball down the field enough to score points. They missed a field goal, obviously, to tie it up at the end, but in the lead up to that, they weren't able to do much. They lost the game to Miami because they found themselves in a hole because of a pick six, to the point where they couldn't crawl out of it enough. They weren't explosive enough. They couldn't move the ball fast enough to do so. So you have to assume that they are going to find themselves in situations like that with the defense stepping back and the schedule being that much harder. Is the offense going to be able to find ways to supplement? All right, we got to go out and score 40 today. I know they were able to score 40 multiple times. Hell, they scored 70 last year. But can you do it when you have to and not as much? All right, we're just coasting right now.
So the defense, I'm looking at the R-Lads projected starters right now. The defense is filled with, I recruited you as a 5-star out of high school, and you were a 5-star at another school, and I stole you off their roster. It's Kenyatta Jackson, a 5-star defensive end out of high school. James Smith, a 5-star defensive tackle that went to Alabama. Yep. Zion Grady's a 5-star out of high school. Mm-hmm. When I say top 50, we're splitting hairs whether or not this dude's an elite prospect. Devin Sanchez, the corner, is a 5-star. And then they took Earl Little, the nickelback from Florida State. They also got Quay Rousseau on this roster as well. So they've got highly talented football players, but they just lost 3 of the arguably freakiest football players that college football had from a year ago. Number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs. I think the biggest question is wide receiver development. Outside of that, defense feels great. Mm-hmm. Defense feels like it's borderline good, right? Really, really good right now, and has a verge on being great.
Yeah, I think wide receiver is probably the biggest question, because you can't assume that it's going to be what it was last year. I don't think it's fair to assume that, just for how dynamic Zachariah Branch was for that team and how much of a step up the wide receiver room was from 2024. My big concern honestly revolves around the pass rush and being able to affect the quarterback. I know that Kirby Smart teams have metrics of we only have 2.6 seconds to get after the quarterback. That's a pretty standard time across college football. That's not unique to them. They finished dead last in the SEC with sacks last year. That has to be changed.
Anybody know what I'm pantomiming with a sword right now?
Looks like you're knighting someone.
There you go. Larry Knight. Solving that problem, my boy.
There we are.
Larry Knight solving that problem.
That is the assumption.
Chad's pointing out the fact that Dominic Kelly's at Ohio State. We know. Just didn't want to break everybody's hearts on this channel. You want to see 3 grown men cry right now?
I'm talking about Dom Kelly.
The hell, dude.
Whoever just put that in chat.
Super unnecessary.
I want them out.
It might be the first time in my life where when Dominic Kelly gets unleashed for the Ohio State Buckeyes, I might actually be somewhat pleasant to speak of the goodness from them.
I'm out here getting texts up the ass because the Max Crosby trade fell through. Now you bring Dom Kelly on me?
Yeah, I think the consensus question for Georgia, it does revolve around, I put it as offensive firepower. Don't necessarily have to even pin it on the wide receivers, while they are certainly a massive factor in the development of those players, and like Isaiah Canyon being a hit for them this season. It could be the tight ends too. Those guys could be the answer this upcoming season. If Elias Williams, Lawson Lucky, Jaden Riddell, Ethan Barber, those guys, if they evolve into these massive playmakers for Georgia, that could be a solution to the question. But that's where it revolves around for me.
Anybody know enough about Indiana Hoosiers 2026 to know a big question that they got?
I just want to know the DNA
because I got them ranked
team.
number 4, DNA of the team. That's a good question. What does it look like without the JMU core?
Right.
They're officially
Because
gone.
I think
there were 6 players left. They're all gone now. I think that's something that I might wonder about. But other than that, we're going to find out what they are in the year. Like, that's one of those football programs that you'll hear nothing about this offseason.
Yeah, and I think
despite the fact that they're the defending national champs. They bought that by design, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of the overarching question I think we have to ask is, like, there's not really necessarily one weakness you can point to on a 16-0 team that would need to get addressed immediately.
Yeah.
2, it's kind of just a general, what is this going to look like? The core pieces that got you to that national
rolling.
Yeah, that core pieces that got you to the national title are no longer there. This is a program that has no history and experience in what it's done before, and frankly, it's a coach that doesn't have a lot of national title experiences. I know Curt Signetti's been anointed as the best coach in college football by some, but that's off of a 2-season span. Like, what does Curt Signetti's next batch of players look like? What does this team look like? That's my biggest question.
Yeah.
Say you don't change anything.
Yeah.
That'd be like playing a big game and then trying to get up and change how you're doing it for the big game. No, the process is the process. We try to improve some of the processes. We're, self-critical about the processes that we have. We're always trying to improve them. We're not going to change up what we do. What we do is what we do.
I think this is maybe a season where you find out the adaptability of Curt Signetti, because the first year where Indiana's having immense success with him, people weren't talking about how much this team out executes you and how well coached they are or anything along the lines of that. I think a lot of that had to do with, Indiana's in the spotlight. Let's focus on that. Let's just talk about how good they are and how surprising this is. And then when they replicate that a year later, it's about this is how they're doing it, and this is kind of out of the norm of how most successful teams and national title winners do this. Like, is that something that you can just do every single year with a new crop of players? That's more so what I'm focusing on for Indiana.
For Notre Dame, my biggest question, because I know their quarterback play is going to be really, really good. I feel like I know their defensive back and linebacker play is going to be really, really good. I don't really know for the first time in a long time what they're going to be from a can we control the line of scrimmage standpoint. Like, you lose both backs. What was a young offensive line for the last several years is now a veteran group. So the offensive line will be fine, but we lost a lot of firepower and superstardom at the ball football program. And now I think they're going to be look how good our quarterback football program is.
Yeah, and that's why I pivoted to did we hit right in the transfer portal at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that these guys might not be expected to be the first guys out on the offense, the 2 Ohio State wide receivers that they nabbed, but Malachi Fields was huge for Notre Dame this past season. He's now headed off to the NFL. I know that Great House is still there, and then I think it's Faison it's still on that roster as well.
Jordan
Faison. I know he's out there. So, and I know it's other guys that they've recruited at wide receiver. So it's more so just like hitting on what you recruited out of high school and also the guys that you brought out of the portal. Can the offensive firepower from the wide receiver perspective continue to evolve and continue to be impactful for them? Because with the losses of Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, that's certainly going to be elevated, the importance of that.
My question is another general one, unfortunately. Can you win in close games? Can you find ways to win? Notre Dame missed the college.
Will they be in them?
Yeah, I was about to say, are they going to have any?
Notre Dame,
than like 1 or 2?
Can you win close games, and can you miss the Marcus Freeman stumble? Inevitable. Now, they did this last year, but they did lose 2 close games, and it ultimately kept them out of the playoff. Notre Dame teams have, for my entire life, lost because they don't find ways to win close games, or they just have a stumble where they don't look like a competent college football team. Like, there's not really an in-between of that. So I think that can you find ways to mitigate that this year? And yes, C.J. Carr taking a step forward in the absence of Jeremiah Love, who you kind of based your entire offensive identity on last year, is going to be important, but I think having a team DNA that can find ways to get over, that hump will be more important.
Up next on the list, number 6, the Oregon Ducks. For me, this is such a sport that revolves around the quarterback, and that's everywhere. But does Dante Moore have another step? Do we become like a transcendent talent? Do we become an absolute difference maker? Can we take over games?
Yeah.
I feel like last year we were really, really good. Mm-hmm. I think this year, if you're all going to win a title, it's going to be because Dante Moore is in New York type of good.
Yeah, my question kind of revolves, and it's in the similar sense of that, is does the revolving door of coordinators finally catch up with you? Dan Lanning is on, I believe, his third or fourth coordinator in as many years as he's been with the Ducks. And they've all worked out swimmingly. Like, from Bo Nix to now, like, they've had good quarterback play. They've had good coordinators. They've had good offenses. At some point, are you going to have a bad hire?
We did something totally different this time around.
Hired within.
Yep.
And
we're going to talk about this with A&M, so we might as well talk about it with Oregon because they did it 2 times over. They hired in-house at DC. They hired in-house at OC. This didn't work at LSU when Dim Brock left and they hired Joe Sloan. This didn't work at Georgia when Jim Chaney left and they hired James Coley. This normally doesn't, and I don't know all of the historical examples because there's not that many of them.
They worked for South Carolina recently. Mike
Shula got promoted in-house. It did not work. Like, there's not a lot of tremendous success stories on this.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know anything about those 2 young coaches. I know one of them was a former tight ends coach that climbed his way up, and I don't know much about, I think he's a safeties coach and DB's coach that climbed up as a DC over there. So we're going to talk about this with A&M because they did the same thing at OC.
Yeah. No, but to Lanning's credit, also though, like he was at an era of Georgia too where they promoted out of house the first couple of times, and then they promoted in house. Him being one of those examples, it panned out there. Mike Bobo right now is promoted in house. I would say it's working out so far. So he's also coming from a lineage of coaching where there are examples where this works. So maybe he knows.
I feel like I have to give him the benefit of the doubt because the out of house hires were so good.
Oh yeah,
and
so you obviously know what quality coach looks like.
Right,
I doubt it.
I would argue also Mike Bobo was a unique case because it wasn't like this isn't our offensive coordinator left. We need to follow. Oh, you're the offensive coordinator. Like Mike Bobo was brought on to staff knowing that eventually Todd Monken would leave and that Mike Bobo would eventually take over that position. I feel like that's kind of the situation. It's not the same as Will Stein in Oregon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just to hit mine real quick of the question I have for Oregon, I just phrase it as, can our defensive front match what we have in the secondary?
Bear Alexander back.
They do have Barry Alexander back. He was good for them this past season. Can we maximize that? Like, can we be a true difference maker on the interior defensive line? Because you got Coy Parrish, who's great safety from Minnesota. Brandon Finney, we've talked about him on the show, what we think about him, one of the best defenders in the country. They got a strong secondary despite some of the losses that you've experienced. Can we get the defensive front to match that? If so, I think the sky's the limit for them.
Number 7, the Miami Hurricanes. This is going to sound crazy. I think they're a better offense than they were a year ago on paper. I think they look better because I think they made a drastic improvement at the quarterback position.
You got more of a playmaker, that's for sure.
However, my biggest question comes on offense. We lost 3 NFL football players on the offensive line, and I know they're great, and I know they're built ball out at Miami, and they'll be fine. Like, we just have to throw another 5-star in there. God forbid Samson Aklin-Lola has to play like we thought he was going to play. God forbid Jackson Cantwell has to step in and be a $2 million man because we're paying him like one. They'll be fine, but I think they're going to be really, really good.
I do too, and I've kind of harped on this a couple of times with Miami throughout this offseason, and I'm going to do it again here. Can the offense replicate like how good the defense was last year? Because I kind of think this is like a changing of the guard for Miami just a tad because – everybody's talking about the offense for Miami going into the season, as they should, like the return of Mark Fletcher, the addition of Darian Mensah, you got Malachi Toney, you get the Barcade guy from Duke as well. Like, you've got really good things on offense right now. I think you kind of have to replace, though, the production you got defensively from a year ago to now that being on the offense, because I don't know if the defense is going to be as good and as impactful as it was a year ago. Not saying they don't have great players, because they do. They'll be really good again, but I think it'll kind of flip-flop how you looked at them last year to how you look at them this year.
Yeah, I think that it's going to revolve around, do your portal additions hit this year? We're coming into the season, and for good reason, with statistical evidence and film. Damon Wilson, the expectation is that he's going to be one of the best pass rushers in the country. Darian Mensah is going to be one of the best quarterbacks. They've had a lot of really, really strong additions on the portal that we think are going to pan out for them. We've seen before, though, the portal doesn't always pan out. You have some bad classes. This happens in the recruiting level as well. However, there's just so much more of an abundance typically in high school level. I think that there is a world here where maybe Miami does take a step back at the quarterback position, and maybe they're not as volatile in the pass rush, and maybe they're, the secondary is going to be really good. I expect the offensive line and the defensive line to be what it is. Mario Cristobal has always prided himself on being that as a coach, so I think they're going to be strong there. But if the portal additions don't pan out for them, I think that they could find themselves in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on to number 8, the Texas A&M Aggies. Boys, what do y'all have on them? Lost 13 football players to the NFL Combine.
Boy, that defense.
Yeah.
That defense.
Yeah.
I think the offense was super explosive last year. And while the defense maybe wasn't in, people were discussing them as one of the best in the country, they were super talented. They had some great football players on that team. Cassius Howell and Torian York were the leaders of that. But you also lost Tyler Onyedim and Scooby Williams, who I think were also good college football players. And the list goes on beyond that. But what's going on with that defense? How good are they going to be? Because you're probably going to score 40 points this year, 41 points per game this year, somewhere around that range if I had to guess. But are you going to be giving up 27 points per game? Are you going to be giving up 24 points per game? If so, might be taking a step back on what you were a season ago.
Yeah, that's my question. I'm operating on the assumption that defense takes a step back. I'm kind of operating with my question of, what does Marcel Reed look like in this new system? How much can he develop, and how much can you extract as much potential out of him as possible? Because losing Colin Klein hurts, obviously, it from a continuity standpoint at the very least. Losing Casey Concepcion to the draft, there's a lot of continuity changes there that Marcel Reed's going to have to adapt to. Now, they went and got pieces. I think Isaiah Horton's going to be a very, very good addition for them at the Z-buy type, or if he is placed at X. But I think that what can you get out of Marcel Reed is going to dictate, because you are right. They are probably going to find themselves in a shootout or two this year. Can they say, hey, Marcel,
Boys,
we need you, buddy?
Boys, they gave up 35 points to Arkansas on the road last year.
Yeah.
They gave up 41 points on the road to Notre Dame last year.
Right.
They gave up 35 points to South Carolina, 28 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They had some inexcusable what the hell's going on with your defense situations last year.
For sure.
And they just lost a bunch of great football players.
Yep.
So that would be a little bit weird for me. We already talked about it with the coordinating promotion. I don't know if it's guaranteed that we're going to replicate last year's offensive production. Casey Concepcion's a damn good football player.
Yeah.
And at one point was the sole focus of their offense.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mario Craver's great, but wasn't Mario Craver in and out of the lineup for the first 7 weeks last year?
I honestly don't know.
I recall that being the situation.
Available, yes.
So most of that ran through Casey Concepcion for a long time. He gone. But yeah, really, really bullish on Elko as a football coach out there. I think they'll be fine. Number 9, Texas Tech. Defensive replenishments on the D-line and Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
We lost $12 million worth of football players in the box alone.
And, the idea –
Quarterback upgrade, though.
Quarterback upgrade, which is good, because the idea of how much defensive production that you lost this past year, and the idea that we're just circling it back with the transfer portal. Now, I know that Texas Tech has done their due diligence at the high school ranks and getting newcomers in, and they're building their roster from the bottom up as well while filling holes from the transfer portal. But, I mean, these were massive football players that they had on, guys that were setting records, I would say. And as far as Jacob Rodriguez, the amount of turnovers that he forced, the sack production from guys like Lee Hunter and Bailey.
Those 4 defensive players, Lee Hunter, Bailey, Brinson, or Height, Romello Height, and Jacob Rodriguez, they will be drafted inside the top 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 4 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And they're gone. Mm-hmm. And we replaced one of them. I think LaDamen Guyton's going to have to play this year.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's crazy to me because he's 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And he's an undersized football player as is. So it'll be interesting.
My question for Texas Tech is, are you hitting on your high school recruiting? Because we know they're throwing tons of funds towards that. And the problem, we have to ask this now because they're placing these guys in a position where they're going to have to play immediately.
Yeah, I was about to say most of that we get answered year 2, year 3
right, and that's,
of these kids' career, and some of them are going to have to get thrown to the fire.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't we've got the 5-star, we're going to have to give them time. They're no, we've spent millions and millions of dollars to get you through the door. However, we need you to play now. So are you hitting on that?
Boy, Felix Ojo looked like he got shot with a 12-gauge buckshot in the chest in high school one-on-ones. We're going to roll him out in college ball already?
Hopefully.
Can't. It'll be malpractice. Number 10, the LSU Tigers. You already know what my biggest question is.
Sam Leavitt.
Oh, yeah. Sam Leavitt. Can he stay upright? All right, meaning on the field. All right, can he stay upright? Can he stay turnover prone? I'm going to say no to the latter.
Yeah,
Buddy, you thought Matt Corral threw interceptions in this system. You just wait.
Yeah, I have questions about Sam Leavitt, but I put it as how much of an elevator can he be? Because I think that Lane Kiffin offenses operate successfully almost no matter who they have at quarterback, but they operate the best when they have guys who can really elevate the offense. I think Jackson Dart was a guy that helped elevate the offense. Trinidad Chambliss was obviously one of the guys that did that. Matt Corral, I don't know how much of an elevator he was for Lane Kiffin and his offense.
Year 2, we were good. Year
Yeah.
2, we were good. Year 1, I think we threw 12 interceptions.
So for Sam Leavitt, like how much can we take this offense that is able to just – it's a blueprint. It works. We know how good it is. How much can we take that and put it to another level? That's the biggest question for me.
I'm going to piggyback off your elevator analogy because my question is, are you even in the position to put an elevator in your house right now? Because that mansion was torn down to the studs by the time Lane Kiffin moved in. And there was a lot of things. Now, they've done a lot of remodeling since then. They got the pieces in place. But are you at the position now where it's, all right, we're a quarterback away from really elevating our offense to be in a position to win titles? I think we all have faith in Lane Kiffin that at some point the LSU Tigers are going to be a top 3 program because of what he does to the rebuild and how dangerous his offenses are. But I don't know if this is the season to do it just because of what all went wrong for them last year. Now, it's still one of the more talented rosters in the country, still one of the more recognizable brands. They still have all the resources they need, but I don't know if year 1 is the year we really start addressing LSU as a title contender just yet.
Well, there are demands down there. They don't make a college football playoff, it'll be a failure year 1.
For sure. I mean, that's fine. And with the 12 team, you should honestly expect that at this point, but I don't know if the some of the expectations we're seeing already.
Number 11, the Oklahoma Sooners. Offensive pulse?
I mean, that's it.
That's the yearly question with Venables.
Yeah,
I know your defense is going to be great.
I'm at the point now where I am, hey, do whatever you need to do on defense, lose whoever you do. I trust that whatever you put in place is going to be there. It's kind of similar to what Kirby Smart has built. Offensively, there's a lot of questions. They went and got the Cal running back last year. He was not that much of a factor as I thought people were.
Jaden Knott.
Jaden Knott, as he was made out to be.
More like Jaden Knott.
Ooh, I think John Mateer had a lot of promise last year, but we also saw a lot of mechanical inefficiencies. So it revolves around that. What is the offense going to look like?
I just want to know what is going to be consistent for this offense. Like, because I don't know if there was anything that was consistent for the offense last year. Like, John Mateer was up and down, passing game was up and down, running game sure as heck was down more than it was up. Do we have anything that, hey, if it's a crucial down, if it's 3rd and 4, do we have something that we can just consistently rely on where it's at least like, hey, 8 out of 10 times we feel like we can convert this because we can rely on this? Just need something consistent, even if it's offensive line play. If we can get that consistent, I think that's a huge step forward for this offense. But we got to have something that we can rely on in the crucials.
I agree. Moving on to the Ole Miss Rebels. Here's what my notes say. My biggest question is firepower outside of the 2 nukes. Like, I think they have 2 absolutely nuclear offensive weapons, and Kewan Lacey, and Trinidad Chambliss. But outside of that, I think Deuce Alexander might be a ballistic missile. But, like, outside of that, what we got? Probably tempering on too many word plays here. But, yeah, firepower outside of the 2 great ones.
It goes with that. I also I need to see this offense. Now, I understand that Charlie Weiss ran the offense towards a college football playoff. I understand that Joe Sloan had a large, hand.
I figured those were the layups.
Let's say those are success. I have a really big question of what this team even looks like without a Lane Kiffin offense at the helm. And that's kind of what got them to where they were. That's what made them successful throughout. Kewan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss are excellent players. We have them ranked as the best players Georgia's going to play this season. I don't know if that is still going to be enough to account for the schemes that are going to be changing there. And again, this might not be an issue at all. They might hit the ground running and they might be fine. It might not have been, Lane Kiffin wasn't that much of an effect, but
Joe Judge, not a bad football coach.
No, not at all.
I call him
John
Joe
David
I
Baker,
think I call him Joe
not
Sloan.
a bad football coach.
My mind just shifts defensively for them. I don't worry about the offense, because while it's not Lane's offense, I still believe in the fact that Kewan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss can make up for shortcomings offensively. So even the questions I have there, I don't necessarily worry about those too much. But can we take a step forward defensively? Because I think that if you do that last year, like if your defense was just slightly better, like maybe you are playing for a national title. But I think that they struggle too often of getting stops consistently defensively.
Boys, we got 90 seconds. I watched Alabama's quarterbacks on tape. They've had about 31 cuts from last year. I watched them all today, broke it down, had a 43-minute film breakdown. I'm going to concise it in 60 seconds. You ready?
Bring it.
Put me on the clock. Let's start with Austin Mack. He's going to play on time and stack plays. He's 6'6", makes all the throws and can operate the full offense. Good enough athlete, not a super threat, but enough, a la Ty Simpson. But he's not perfect with ball placement. Had bad misses on the occasion on tape. As for Keelan Russell, he doesn't play on time or necessarily comfortable right now through early freshman tape. We expect that from a young football player, but man, what a playmaker this guy is. He might win the job off ceiling and explosives alone, but this is a defensive-laden roster, so probably want to protect that defense, maybe get the older veteran in there. We can see both sides of this argument right here. But if he doesn't start protecting himself, that being Keelan Russell, we are not going to last as a college football player and a long-term quarterback. We want to play for 15 years on the Sunday League, all right? He had 2 big hits, or what I would call exposures to contact in about 30 snaps. That's not sustainable. We will get hurt, all right? We can't do that. We got to get better about that. Yeah, that's what I got.
8 seconds over.
Damn.
You were close. Not perfect.
Now we got to do the local 45 because you went over the time. cheating the audience.
We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grab some tape.
910 Cooper says, what is the greatest cartoon of all time? J-Will, let me know if you got my Venmo to turn Kirby into a campfire story.
Yeah, apparently 910 Cooper's an op now. He's trying to get J-Will to take me out.
Rocket League. Y'all probably don't even remember Rocket League. Y'all don't even know what Rocket League is. No. Rocket League was Rocket Power.
Okay.
Yes. Not that I
Rocket
know.
Power.
Okay.
Yeah. Rocket Power was the first cartoon show that let me know that I should put a card in the spokes of my tires to make it go.
Yeah.
Sound like a dirt bike. Yeah.
First cartoon I can remember watching, and probably the most longevity, is Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry's a really good.
That's what feels like a safe answer to give, though. But I mean, it's been on for like 60 years.
It's Looney Tunes or Scooby Doo.
I think we're all pro SpongeBob folks around here.
We are.
Yeah. But SpongeBob doesn't resonate with the older generation.
No, but
like if I put on a Tom and Jerry episode, my grandpa would at least be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this." If I put on SpongeBob, he'd be like, "Get this damn shit on." Like
SpongeBob still holds up, resonates with the kids. My kids like it. They
Yeah.
ask about the sponge. I'm like, we probably shouldn't watch too much of the sponge. A little too young.
yeah, probably better in doses.
Yeah, giggity.
Not a binge.
Local hour. We got a loaded one for you. Hey, Jonathan and Christian, start bench cut. Richard LeCount, Chris Smith, J.R. Reed.
ooh.
Make it snappy, boys.
Starting Richard LeCount,
Ooh.
benching Chris Smith, cutting J.R. Reed.
I think I have
Damn!
I know.
Is it because he's an Oregon Duck football coach?
No,
Is that why?
Slightly.
Slightly?
J.R. Reed, why are you not in Athens?
Why are you calling Dan Lanning first?
Kirby
What's
Smart.
up with that?
Kirby Smart, why is J.R. Reed not in Athens?
Kirby
right now?
Smart got you out the mud that is Tulane football. Or was he at Tulsa?
Tulsa.
He got you out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you want to spend time in Eugene?
Hey,
Cut.
He's just working out the kinks at Oregon so that way he can be a finished product when he comes
finished
to Athens.
product when he gets to Athens. I like that.
I would honestly agree with that, though. I hate that because I loved all three of those guys, but I think Richard and Chris Smith had a little bit more playmaking ability. But then again, J.R. Reed were, I don't know.
Absolutely loaded show on the local hour for you guys tonight. Kirby brings us one of my favorite off-season topics of the season to date. I'm ecstatic about this off-season topic. What a great let's waste 15 minutes talking about something that happened 6 months ago.
We're not wasting. Waste.
Let's take advantage of 15 minutes to talk about something that
There
happened
we go.
15 minutes ago.
There we go.
Yeah, love it. I'm not faking that. I told Kirby today, dynamite stuff on the pre-production planning. We're going to rank opponents, volatility edition. Yours truly had to Google what volatility meant.
Did you really?
Maybe.
Is that football brain or shorter education?
We have a commit to talk about. We have a commit to talk about. We're going to talk about that. 30 on my ACT. Don't try me. Don't try me.
My bad.
Don't
my
try
bad.
Me. 3 scored 1,900. Don't try me. Spring practice is nearing. We'll talk a little bit about it tonight as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review. I don't see enough of those. I don't see enough of those on this video right about now, so I need some of those right about now. Kirby, let's not bury the lead. What you got for me today, bud?
All right. So a couple days ago, I was in my house doing meal prep as I usually do, and I was looking for a YouTube video to watch. And the suggestion popped up was a former Georgia football game. So I said, you know what? Why not? Let's watch this game. The game in question was the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Tennessee Volunteers from 2021.
Oh.
This is the year Georgia won 41-17. And as I was watching...
Is this Eric Stokes' big hit game?
No.
No, that's 2019. This is Tennessee wears the black jersey, Stetson Bennett in Knoxville.
Oh, that was over quick.
It wasn't.
It felt like it was. Didn't y'all score on your first 3 possessions?
No.
Either way, you rewatched it. What happened?
So as I was watching this, I had a couple of notes that I wanted to take. So I said, you know what? Why don't we just talk about this on the show? The first note that I have from rewatching this is I hate how nostalgic watching this made me. I feel like this game happened just a few years ago. And now I'm thinking like, damn, this was half a decade ago. I remember being in college. Second, the 3:30 SEC on CBS kick was the most prime time
Shout out Gary D.
we ever had football. Yes.
Was Vern on that one?
No, that was Brad.
Ooh.
Brad Nessler's voice, just the aura of that broadcast. It was something different. And that's not to besmirch CBS and Kirk and Chris Fowler because they do a great job. But
No, I'm going to besmirch ESPN right quick. Way too much band volume at these SEC games.
The crowd volume in general.
Well, no. I'm fine with the crowd volume because it's loud as piss at an SEC school. But don't make it sound like when you go to these games that all you can hear is the band, because that's not the case. In fact, you can hardly hear the band. Mm-hmm. Most of the time you hear the in-house music. Most of the time you hear fans.
Crowd.
Most of the time you hear that. We don't hear the bands all that much. But when you listen to it on television, my God, you feel like you're sitting in the band section on an ESPN game.
Yeah, and this game made me excited. It was a mid-November game. Start at 3:30. It's light out by the time it's over. It's dark. So all of that. That's all irrelevant to the game, though. First takeaway I have from this is things haven't really changed all that much necessarily. Tennessee opened that game with a scoring drive where they marched right down the field, scored an opening touchdown. That was the only time Georgia gave up an opening touchdown that season. However, very similar to the stories we've seen in the last Tennessee matchups. Here's one that's very interesting to me. So Tennessee goes down, scores a touchdown on their opening drive. Would you like to guess what Georgia opens their game up with, the offensive play?
James Cook motion empty?
No.
What?
I think way simpler than this.
Inside zone handoff?
They open with a wide receiver screen. Can you believe that? And this is Todd Monken, Georgia. Mike Bobo is not on this program.
Trash.
Old Messiah Monken himself running a wide receiver screen, the forbidden play. Who'd have thought? By the way, it gained 15 yards. So
Chad's saying I'm anti-band. I'm not anti-band. I'm pro give me the real environment. That's all.
I think you have said some
I'm
things
big.
about the band.
No. I'm a big proponent of red coat band. A lot of certified ball knowers in the red coat band. Okay? Other bands don't know as much ball as red coat band.
That's fair. So, yeah.
And we got crowd pop for red coat bands. I'm a big proponent of the red coat band.
Open their first drive of the game with a wide receiver screen. Next drive on offense, it's 3rd and 22. Would you like to guess what play they ran?
Tunnel screen?
A wide receiver screen to Kearis Jackson, might I add. Now, we've said multiple times on this show we're fans of Kearis Jackson. If I had to choose between Zachariah Branch or Kearis Jackson on a screen, I think every sane person is going to choose Zachariah Branch.
Give me Iguodala.
Yeah, that's the take there. So those are the takes of notice about how things haven't necessarily changed. Another thing I noticed, the internal defensive line pressure was what made that defense so good. The amount of overthrows that Hendon Hooker had in that game because he felt like he couldn't get his feet set, not because there was pressure off the edge, which there was a lot of times. The fact that Jordan Davis, Devontae White, guys like Jalen Carter were able to just collapse the interior offensive line to the point where he had to feel like he's throwing over people the entire time. I went back and counted. There's about 7 or 8 just overthrow misses. There's even one where it leads to interception because that pocket is so condensed.
What year did they go up there and the whole defense had the flu?
That's this year.
That's that year?
Jalen Carter actually got pulled out of this game.
Jordan Davis
through.
did too.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was this year, and even still, they were making an impact on the internal defensive line. Another takeaway I took, Dan Lanning was exotic as a defensive coordinator.
Sim pressures.
The simulated pressure. There was one point in a third down. It was early in the first half. Georgia's in a 3-3 stack with Nolan Smith as the Mike linebacker, and he's kind of just hovering ahead of the two. It's not. I don't even know what you'd call that.
What'd you say?
It was in. It looked like a 3-3 stack, except Nolan Smith is just hovering.
Mm-hmm.
He's not lined up in line.
Like what Alabama and Womack do now.
Correct. And basically, I mean, he's just sniffing out the play, immediately makes a tackle for loss, stuff like that. I saw some bear fronts, which you don't really see that much from Georgia anymore. Just the amount of things that Dan Lanning and that defense threw at people. Now, you could argue that's because of the talent that was on the field. He felt like he could do that, but it is very obvious how much the Georgia defense has been simplified.
Threw a bear front at a wide choice system?
Yes. Now it was
lunacy.
Now it was a third down and short. It was a
say.
fairly obvious running down.
Yeah.
But there was bear fronts, very, very interesting dynamics in this game. So a lot of third down stuff. Another takeaway I had, not having a dual threat running back is really hurting Georgia's offense. James Cook absolutely destroyed this game. This is the famous James Cook, went for I think almost 200 total purpose yards.
3 touchdowns.
Had 3 touchdowns in this game. Why it works so well is because when 4 was on the field, you didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's a pass play where he's going to be in pass pro, which he did a bunch of times. You don't know if he's going to be a receiver out of the backfield, and you don't know if he's going to be running the ball. Georgia doesn't necessarily have this right now. They kind of get pigeonholed by who's on the field.
Yeah, that's what I had to say. Who has a James Cook?
That's
I think that's the takeaway I have there. Is with hindsight, every year with more and more hindsight we have about James Cook, I find out just how uniquely talented he was.
Yes, here's my counterpoint to that. Kenny McIntosh was a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. DeAndre Swift was a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. Even Sony Michel
here's what I'm saying. Take away Georgia alone.
Okay.
Who in college football is motioning the back out of empty and making him run a vert for touchdowns, 80-yard touchdowns?
No.
James Cook did it 3 times in his college career.
For sure. And
nobody's doing that.
And I'm not saying we need a James Cook. I think
we need a threat.
You need a threat. You need someone to be on the field and go, I don't know what's happening right now. Because if Cash Jones is on the field, it's probably a pass play unless they're going to run a sneaky zone concept. And at that point, you're just reacting to that. I think that's what's going to elevate their defense to the next, or offense to the next level. Final takeaway I have on this, and then I have one last thing. The ability to win almost instantly on the edge is missing. And again, this goes back to, look at the talent that's on that roster. But guys like Nolan Smith, Trayvon Walker, even Robert Beal, immediately on third down, being able to peel their ears back, one move and you're done. Swimming past D. Like, Georgia got Hendon Hooker sacked 6 times in this game. So I think that is something.
Has Georgia signed a 5-star edge rusher in the NIL era? 2023 and beyond. Michael Williams is the last 5-star edge rusher they signed, right?
Correct. I cannot think of another 5-star edge rusher. Which, I mean, this could be absolutely an impact of, hey, NIL era, you're not getting this talent walking through the door anymore.
Yeah, Nolan Smith would cost you $1.8 million nowadays as a 18-year-old. He's LaDainian Guyton.
Yep.
That's what it would be. He's David Jacobs Jr.
I think he, to this day, is still the highest-ranked prospect they've ever signed.
So, chat saying Damon Wilson, that's the next class?
Some people did have Isaiah Gibson as a 5-star.
Okay.
All
right. So, got to get something out of him.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a composite 5-star.
Got to get something out of him. Isaiah Gibson.
You need the ability to win. Now, again, Amaris Williams might add this because he's explosive as hell.
But the point I'm trying to make is there was a year there where you got Sam Pemba. Right. You got 3 5-stars in one class. You got a lot of stabs at it to get immediate impact rushers. Nowadays, you just don't. I don't think you get that many cracks at it.
Correct. No, you're absolutely right. All right, so this is the last takeaway I had and last thing I had notes on because I feel like this is the one area that's going to matter most to most people. I did a comparison, watched this game, and thinking of how different is Stetson Bennett from Gunnar Stockton. We watched 14 games of Gunnar Stockton last year. going back and seeing Stetson Bennett down to down, how is he different? So I did the similarities and differences. Similarities are they are +1 athletes that can absolutely be weapons in the run game. The amount of zone options and zone reads that Stetson Bennett ran in that game was actually kind of surprising. He carried the ball like designated read options probably 4 or 5 times and gashed Tennessee each time because of it. They don't even do that much with Gunner. Obviously, as scramblers, their problems. They both had scrambling touchdowns this season against Tennessee. Another similarity is they will both occasionally have accuracy misses. I think that
Stetson was a lot in the screen game early on.
Yes, there's one that stuck out to me. One that stuck out to me was just like, oh man, that was a miss. It's 3rd and 6. They run an out concept to Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey will run for 20 yards if this ball's put on the money. Stetson overthrows it, floats the ball. Accuracy misses such as that, clean pocket. Final similarity is they have similar offensive styles. This is very much 2 offenses that are dictated on, hey, if we can run the ball well, we're going to eventually hit our explosives. I feel like that was what happened with Georgia this season and in 2021. The only difference was they never really hit on the explosives. The difference is, I think this is where we'll kind of delineate where the two are different. Stetson Bennett was absolutely willing to force passes over the middle. I don't think Gunnar Stockton is, and I think that's kind of why you're seeing so few turnover-worthy throws from Gunnar Stockton, but at the same point, it's why you don't see a lot of the, oh man, that was a tight window, that was an impressive ball throws. Stetson Bennett had a lot of those, even in this game. Another difference, Gunnar is much more concerned with staying on time. I think if Gunnar's first few reads are not there, he is finding an exit strategy and hitting it. Stetson Bennett was all right with hanging around in the pocket, dancing around a little bit, trying to find other ways. And this is the biggest difference, and I think this is what made Stetson Bennett so damn elite that is underrated of his game. He almost always kept his eyes downfield when scrambling. There's a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half where Stetson Bennett is climbing up in the pocket, about to take off, finds an A.D. Mitchell on the left side of the field and throws it across his body. It's a 9-yard gain. That stuff does not happen or did not happen as much as it needed to with Gunnar. I think that's the biggest difference. And if Gunnar can do that, they're going to be a very dangerous offense this year. So those were my takeaways from Georgia's 2021 victory over Tennessee. Did chat enjoy that? I didn't.
I love how you applied. I love how you applied it to modern times.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was doing.
Not just, hey, let's reminisce on this whole game. Let's compare and contrast.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to do, because like, obviously there's differences in 5 years ago, so seeing what those were and how Georgia could apply one of its best seasons ever and take away from it this year.
I will say, going back to the talking point of Stetson keeping his eyes downfield and finding plays while escaping out of the pocket, Gunnar does that. He keeps his eyes downfield. I mean, there was a clip of it in the Ole Miss game in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
But it's kind of the same conversation we have about Gunnar, where we're looking at the right things. We're just not trusting ourselves in making the throw. And I think Stetson had that area too, but it wasn't a lack of trust in himself with Stetson. It was, I don't give 2 shits if this is an interception. I'm about to throw the piss out of this ball. Those were the learning experiences with him. Gunnar, it's just we're not throwing it.
Alabama 2021 on the road, or 2020? 2020 on the road. It's like, buddy, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Why?
And there were signs of that in 2021. There are 3 or 4 passes over the middle where it was like, whoa. Why did we throw that ball? You should have had it picked. I mean, there's a goal line pass that he forces to John Fitzpatrick.
Alrighty, I am blaming myself and Christian Kirby, but I'm really blaming Jonathan Williams for not being here last night to remind us, hey, boys, Georgia got almost like a high-end, like top 100 commit over the weekend. We probably need to talk about this. So shame.
Name.
Jonathan Williams, I know your name. You were slacking off last night, so we didn't have the topical segment that we should have had last night. So tonight, I apologize on behalf of my incompetent producer, Jerry Outhouse Jr., for not watching your film last night. We should have. But we buried the lead till today. So now you get your own segment. Do you want to apologize to Jerry?
Maybe I did. Well, honestly, can I be frank with you?
Please.
I didn't want to put in the show notes yesterday because I wanted to make sure that I was here for this. This is a name guy.
It's a great
You
pivot.
said it, Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Yes, sir.
I had to make sure that I was in the presence for this film breakdown because I want to know what Jerry Outhouse is about.
Speaking of, we might need to build one out in the backyard for his inappropriate
I think he already has constructed
what, the corner?
One. Yeah, basically. I'm sorry if your grass doesn't grow in certain spots.
I'm sorry to my neighbors.
I never go.
Honest to God. Sorry for my neighbors. I got an inappropriate producer deciding he's going to relieve himself in between the hours every night outside. So I apologize.
It's dark
Keep
out.
the kids inside. Keep the kids inside after 9 o'clock. I don't want my man catching a charge.
Whoa.
All right? I'm just saying. Jerry Outhouse. I watched the tape already. We finna watch it with y'all. Here's my overview before we get over there. Tremendous feel for the game of football. Plays high school corner, but I want him closer to the ball because of this. He's got a playmaker's nose. You'll see. He's got play ability and a general sense of making plays. Plays for a massive high school out there in Fort Worth, Texas, Crowley. I tell you that because he finna look like an ant on this film. All right, this sucker looks like it's shot from the daggum, what do you call that, Goodyear blimp? Like, that's how big these high school stadiums are. So enjoy this. We're going to have a good time watching this. By the way, anyone brave enough to rock this hairstyle should not be messed with. Should not be messed with ever. Let's go take a look.
He pulls it off at least.
Oh, no doubt. Pulls it off very, very well. Again, high school corner. This is his home high school field. Guys, we have a light bar over here. Guys, we have 2 decks. Guys, we have an indoor facility where the boosters get to hang out. Guys, on this side, we got a field area and a Megatron.
A Megatron?
What do you call Jumbotron? Yeah, we got a Jumbotron.
They got a transformer out there?
Yeah, they got a transformer essentially out there in Crowley, Texas. This is as big as high school football gets in this country. All right, I just want to point that out to you guys. Now, why does that matter? It matters from a transition to big-time football in the SEC standpoint. He's playing dudes. Now, this clip right here, again, hard to tell because we're 9,000 feet in the air. We're going to drive vertical with the number 1 wide receiver, okay? We're going to pass him off to the safety right here, okay? We've got him covered. Now, we're going to realize, hey, they're screen wheeling down here to the bottom to the running back. We're going to sink off of that number 1 wide receiver and jump off and pick this football. Not only that, we're going to go make a play after the catch with the rock in our hand as well, okay? This is what I'm saying. We have a real playmaker's nose for the football. We have real natural instincts. What's up?
I didn't realize he was going to score a touchdown that play.
I think he got hawked. That's why we cut the clip. But anyways, again, hey, not to be trifled with in high school screen game. You're going to see him blow up about 9 of these in the first 2 minutes, okay? Another reason why I think I kind of want him closer to the ball. Other thing, where are we playing right now?
State championship.
Yeah, we're playing at North Texas High School, or North Texas University. It's a state championship game, okay? Or a high playoff game, one way or the other.
Yeah,
we're going to pick that ball off. This had to be in 2 minutes. It looked like a Hail Mary situation right before the half. We're just trying to make a play with the ball in our hands afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
High and tight, brother.
Uh-huh. Good instincts out here.
Yes.
Really good instincts. And he thumps. I think we've got a really high-end effort play coming up in a couple of clips as well. Not to be trifled with out here. Quit playing around. Just, it's in the scouting report. Do not be throwing screens against Crowley High School anywhere near Jerry Outhouse Jr. Not to be trifled with in the screen game. There's no doubt. All right, I love our leverage right here.
You are not getting inside that.
But here's why, right? Let me go back to that clip. I apologize. Hey, where's the leverage? Where's he lined up?
He's on the far hash.
Right? The ball's on the right hash, and this dude's all the way at the top of the numbers. Okay, ball's way over here. He's trying to work himself more towards this inside grass. Let's take that away, and let's drive ourselves on anything working outward, which is exactly what Jerry does right here. Okay? High-end football. That's where he's coming from, and that's what he's going to in the form of Georgia's defensive back room, okay?
His change of direction is really good, too.
Yeah. I mean, this was the effort play, okay? We're backside, far numbers. We're going to run this sucker down, and I think we get a peanut punch right here. I see the ball rolling around towards the end of the clip. The ball's right there. Oh. Yeah. So I think we got us one of these. A little touchback, free 20, our ball going that way, which is big-time stuff. Get a little Meg rep right here. We're going to bump and run with this guy. Play the ball. Get your head around. Good job. He got his head around twice right there. Did you see?
No, I didn't, honestly.
All right. If you look, John, or Christian right here, we got our head around for the back shoulder fade right there, and then we got our head back around. So, in other words, we checked the inside for the back shoulder fade, felt the back shoulder fade timing exhaust itself, and then we got our head back around for the 2-ball. All right. Watch it from the top again, and you can probably see it, Kirby. I know you got a good eye for this stuff.
I was going to say, it's from this angle and this screen.
I know, but just try. You can see right here, we're looking over our left shoulder for the ball, and then we flip our head back around to our right shoulder and try to find the rock.
Now I see it, yes.
Okay, that's really high-end awareness of where the concepts, right? I know he's running vertical, But I can get beat by 2 balls when he's running vertical. I can get beat by back shoulder, and I can get beat by ball over top. Let's get our eyes on both. And when the timing of that happens is really important, having football instincts, okay? Boom. Good tackle. Wrapping up the legs. I just can't get over the light bars in the high schools that they're playing at, man.
Yeah, that's never anything I experienced.
Ooh, got a little hitch and go right there. Slam the door on a Hugo. I like that. Outside leverage right here. Force him in. We know he's going to go there. Then sag off. Uh-oh. We're going to get a pick right here or a big hit? Big hit. Boom. We basically took care of 3 right there.
That's a great play of being put in conflict.
Yeah, man. We took care of 3 essentially right there. Just I'm strapping reps now. All right, so those are – all right, we got about a minute left of that. We're good. Hey, really, really good.
Wait, I want to see a run, Phil.
Oh. You want to see him run?
I want to see a run, Phil.
Okay. We're going to shed the block, lever it, turn it back in, and get off the block and make a tackle.
Maintain outside leverage.
Yes, we did. Ooh, I forgot to add that. Lever, spill, lever. We'll talk about that on another day. You also forgot my light bar today, Jonathan. I was wondering why I was looking a little dark.
It's plugged in, just not all the way.
He didn't do his job, basically.
You know what that sounded like? Sound like excuse. Sound like excuse. It's on now.
There we
Get
go.
together, man.
I am together.
Just take a day off yesterday, and now you're losing your level of professionalism.
This guy.
Okay, I need you locked back in. Okay?
Maybe.
Hard coaching. Shout out Jerry Outhouse. Shout out to the chat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I don't know why I came back over here. Going right back over there to rank volatilities.
Yes, you are.
Is this what you want to do?
I mean, I don't run the show, sir. We're doing whatever you want to do.
All right, so yesterday we ranked the top players that Georgia is going to play this year. And I think it sparked a little interest about a new segment in Kirby's mind. Yesterday we were talking about South Carolina. Is this what brought it up?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about South Carolina, and we were like, dude, y'all play them so late in the season, we have no idea what they're going to be. They could be a 9-win football team with a couple of losses that has to win out to get a college football playoff, or they could be so bad they don't have a football coach type of stuff. So that would be the definition of volatile. I looked it up today. Liable to rapid change, especially for the worst.
Yes.
So if we were to rank Georgia's 12 opponents in terms of volatility, South Carolina is the definition of volatile going into this season.
1,000%. They are the clear-cut number 1.
Clear-cut number 1, we got that started. 1, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Now, from a level of, we know what they fitting to be. Mm-hmm. We know Western Kentucky's going to be slappable.
Oh, yeah.
Better be.
Slappable, yes.
And we know Tennessee State's going to be real slappable by the time they get to Athens.
Slappable, right, J-Lo?
I don't know what you're joking about. We're being professional right now.
Camera one's dead.
And you're
Watch out.
hee-hawing right now.
Anyways.
Get yourself together.
1, 11, and 12 solidified. Now, we got some debates about 2 through 10.
Yes, we do.
So let's go to the board. Let's talk about it. I don't get the slappable joke.
I don't either.
Was that like a
just unnecessary?
Jay
like
Will
a
knows.
J. Will
He was
favorite
ruining
ass
your flow,
play
to be
type of
honest.
joke?
Jay
Like, I don't
Will-
even know
Jay
what's
Will
going
knows
on.
all about slapping motion.
I don't even know what's going on right now, man. All right, here we go, boys. Break out the whiteboard. Woo!
It feels like a Thursday.
It's not.
It's off season. They all feel like Thursdays
Every
to
day's
me,
a
man. To be
Thursday
honest
in
with
the
you.
offseason.
Welcome into our whiteboard session of the day. Here they are, the 2026.
Did you hire
UGA
somebody to write that?
schedule. No,
Yeah,
I
this,
wrote that.
It's
first
pretty
off,
legible.
This is the best handwriting you've ever given.
Thank you.
It's straight.
Thank you.
It's readable.
Be honest. Haley came down here and did that, didn't she?
On mama? No, she did not.
Thank
That's
you,
all
Haley.
me
We
right there.
appreciate it.
And here's the deal. I've told y'all up and down for years that telestrator is not easy to write on.
Telestrator.
The big TV, they work like big iPad. That thing hard write on.
There you go.
This thing easy write on. All right? Me write good whiteboard. All right, let's talk about it. Quit giving me shit about my penmanship. Let's do some content here. Tennessee State, y'all know the schedule. There it is right there. Now, we already told you South Carolina is obviously the most volatile football team on the schedule. Western Kentucky and Tennessee State start at 11
I
and
think
12.
Tennessee State should be higher than Western Kentucky.
Why?
I think I know Tennessee State's going to be worse than Western Kentucky. That's why I put them down at 12.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
So now, where do y'all want to start? Do y'all want to start in the volatile discussion, or do y'all want to start down at the bottom?
Let's work
and what
our
we
way
know?
up.
Let's
I
work.
think.
I feel like it's easier to work our way up.
So who do we know is either going to be really, really bad or really, really good?
I think
in
it's a
2026?
fairly safe bet to say that by week 3, we're going to be fairly certain that Arkansas will not be a very dangerous football team.
Correct. All right, so we kind of think we know Arkansas is going to be pretty bad. I feel like I kind of know Vanderbilt's going to be pretty bad.
Yes, but there's more upside to Vanderbilt than Arkansas.
And we can split hairs in a second, but I'm trying to pool these teams
All right, fair.
quick. I think we know Missouri is going to be down this year, and I think we know Georgia Tech is going to be down this year.
Agreed.
Now, of those teams we just talked about we know you finna be bad. Who do we know is going to be bad the most? I vote Arkansas.
I think it's Arkansas.
I also vote Arkansas.
All right, so let's put Arkansas number 10 right here. Mr. Silverfield, you're going to get your get back. All right? Whiteboard penmanship is elite.
Oh, man.
All right, so now, is there anybody we know for a fact is going to be really, really good?
The 2 teams that I would make that argument for are either Alabama and Ole Miss.
See, I think Alabama's a very volatile team, though, because Alabama could be a national title contender, but they could also pop a 9-3.
8-4.
But
Possible.
that's not as volatile as how I would view an Oklahoma per se.
True, this is true.
I think that Oklahoma is way more volatile than say Alabama or Ole Miss. While I think Oklahoma's good, I think they have a really good roster. I think that how their season can go in the wrong direction looks different than maybe how a bad season for Alabama or Ole Miss
I
looks.
think what we're hashing out right now as we debate is that we feel far more confident about who's going to be bad than who might be good.
Yes,
Correct. Okay, so let's fill out the bottom of the rankings maybe with the teams that we know are going to be bad, and then we can get back to splitting hairs on.
I would put Vanderbilt next. Then
I would say I feel there's some up. If Jared Curtis is everything that Georgia thought he was, Vanderbilt's not going to be horrendous this year, and Jared Curtis might win them a game or two. I don't really know what the upside for Georgia Tech is.
That would be my answer right there. I think I know Georgia Tech is going to be whippable this year. And I think any optimism around that program right now would be false sense of hope. Do we think Fernando Mendoza's little brother is going to be any good?
Alberto,
sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I was a little bro. Until you do something, you a little bro. You little bro.
Alberto.
My quarterback.
Little Alberto, bro.
He's going to save us.
Anyways, I think we know Georgia Tech's going to be pretty bad.
I think Vanderbilt after that is the right answer, though.
I like your discussion point about that there is some volatility there because of the quarterback. What if he is
There
that
is
good?
some, which is why I think 8 is probably the right spot for them. It's not much.
Yeah, you're
let's
right.
say,
Because Ahmad Hardy could 220 you out of nowhere.
And even if Jared Curtis is everything that we think he is, I don't know how much I believe in everything else around him.
That's
that
fair.
dude could be out there balling out, but
hey,
to
Cole
no
Adams.
avail. Cole Adams. There you go.
Damn. You don't like Cole Adams?
Is Cole Adams going to be the number 1 option in our offense?
The Richardson kid looked pretty good last year.
He's not there.
I know, but I'm saying Cole Adams was brought in to do some replacement there.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know why I'm saying I vote Cole Adams. That's on me.
I like Cole Adams. I just don't
People
know
go
if
like, damn, is he Cole Adams' agent or something?
Yeah,
What
I don't
the
know if I
hell's
like
going on
number
here?
1 option. Cole.
Mizzou in at number 7.
Understandable.
Okay. We don't even know who their quarterback's going to be.
No, we do not.
All right. So that handles Vandy. That handles Mizzou and Georgia Tech. And that's that. All right. So now, of what's left, Oklahoma, Bama, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina's already off the list. Let's start top down now.
Now I think the discussion is...
Now we go most volatile of
you,
these.
Are
Who do
you
we not
more
know?
sure of Ole Miss being good or Alabama being good or more sure about Auburn being bad? That's where I think this discussion goes.
See, here's the thing.
So I think I know Auburn's going to be a 7 or 8 win football team. I don't expect them to be bottomed out. I don't expect them to be a competitive, one of the competitive SEC members this year.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at year 2s, 3s with Alex Golish in that discussion.
Yeah, I think Auburn's range is kind of 6 to 8 wins. I don't think anything higher than that should be expected. And I don't think they're going to do anything lower than that,
Correct.
realistically.
Right.
So I don't think they're a very volatile team. Yeah, I'd be all right with them at 6.
All right. Let's put them Auburn Tigers right there. Now, I think this football team, Florida, I think they have the widest range of year 1, it was a banger. Holy hell, they immediately clicked. Look at how that roster was as good as we thought it was. Billy Napier was as bad as a football coach as we thought he was. Holy hell, they won 10 games year 1 under Billy Napier. Or man, there's a lot of rebuilding left to do down there.
Yeah,
Maybe they're not as good as we thought
Well,
they
it's
were.
also like Buster Faulkner is bringing in a quarterback that was in his system. It's not like they're going to be installing this brand new. Now, receivers, yes, but the quarterback is the most important piece of that. There's a possibility that this Florida offense is really, really good under Buster Faulkner at the leadership of offense coordinator. And obviously, if John Summerall, if the yelling and screaming works out, they could be very good this year.
The only counter to that I have is just a whole lot of projection with both quarterbacks. We don't know much about them.
sure.
Aaron Philo's played 2 games. I just don't know. We're projecting what that's going to look like, and either
I think they go here at the top because of all the things we're talking
I agree.
about.
I think they're a top 3 volatile team.
I think they're anywhere from a 7 or 8 win football team to maybe a 10 or 11 like top 12 football program. The roster wise, they were that.
There's a world where
There's
a world when Georgia and Florida play in Atlanta, Florida has 3 losses, and there's a world where I think they have 1 or 2.
Yeah. So for that reason, I'm gonna put them right here. I think they're one of the highest ranges of outcomes possible in 2026 on Georgia's upcoming schedule. I think Alabama might go right behind them.
I would tend to agree, honestly.
You see some hesitation on Jonathan's face.
I think that, honestly, this is my genuine opinion. I think that Oklahoma is the second most volatile team. I genuinely believe that.
Because of the quarterback play?
Quarterback play, offensive play, I just don't know. And they lost a lot of talent on defense. Like I think there's a world where we sit here at the end of the season and it's like, boy, what a stinker of a season that was for the Sooners. And I think there's a world where it's, man, Brent Venables and them finally took that next step.
He's convinced me.
Same. I mean, we're talking about volatile. I mean, John Mateer is the poster child.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I think that fits. And then we fill out our roster, the rest of the list.
All right, yep. I'm good with that.
I honestly love this list.
I mean, this could be anywhere from 3 wins to 10.
Yeah, like that team won 4 games last year.
Yeah.
I think people forget how bad it was last year. 4 games.
This team won 2 last year. They might win 4 or 5 this year.
They're not going to be good this year.
This quarterback makes me want to throw up while also making me go, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's those.
He's like mainlining a whole bag of nerds.
I mean, think about
clusters.
it. Oklahoma was a playoff team last year. And every single week that we came in here on Tuesdays to do our prediction, we sat here and said, well, it depends on what kind of Oklahoma team we get this weekend.
Yeah.
Is John Mateer going to be really good this weekend? Can the weapons be a difference? The defense is going to be great. We don't know.
Yeah,
I think you're going to be saying the same things again this year.
And I think that more so than ever, the game's going to be kind of given to John Mateer's hands because they need him to take that next step. I think that, yeah, honestly, Oklahoma is probably one of the more volatile teams. I do wonder if we could make the argument that Alabama should be over Florida looking at it now, because I think there is a world where Alabama's 8-4. I think there's also a world where they're 11-1 going into the postseason. Like, that's just how it's been under Kalen. Like, they've been a volatile team all throughout his tenure at there, where it's like, hey, whatever Alabama shows up today is either going to lose to unranked Vanderbilt or beat the number 1 team in the country.
If you ever give a difficulty score on that schedule, 1 to 10, what would you give it? Well, I'm at like a 7.
I was going to say 7.
6.5, 7.
So just in reference, okay, for those at home, USC this year plays Oregon, at Penn State, at Wisconsin, Ohio State, at Indiana, and UCLA. Well, UCLA doesn't really matter. But I always say that because, like, you got a favorable one for the first time.
One of the more favorable ones.
First time in like 3 years. It's felt like you've had a coach come to the microphone and be like, this is the hardest schedule we've played in school history.
For the first time since the expansion, it feels like, since the diminishing of divisions, it feels like Georgia's kind of gotten a favorable shake on this.
The only thing that I look at that schedule and I'm just kind of like, that really sucks, is your 2 toughest games are on the road. Having to go to Ole Miss and having to go to Alabama, like those 2 suck. But you get Oklahoma at home. Now you got to go at South Carolina. Don't know what that's going to look like in November, but that's favorable that you don't have to play them in September when it's 110 degrees at noon.
I will say, though, looking at this schedule, like, the schedule in itself is very volatile. There's a world when you're playing South Carolina, it's a top 15 team. It's like, damn, this ended up being tough. Oklahoma, it's a fairly early slate. They'll be a top 25 team.
It will not be 2024 where you play 5 top 10 opponents, 3 top 5 opponents on the road. It won't be that.
No. That was
was
that's
nuts.
That's a 9 on the hardened schedule.
I would argue that's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as tough as it'll get. But yeah, man, it'll be an interesting season from a scheduling standpoint. How many true road games do they have? Because last year we only had 3.
4.
Arkansas, South Carolina,
Bama,
Ole Miss,
Ole
and
Miss.
Bama.
So really, you
Not bad.
have 3.
The 2 are big. The Ole Miss one and
And you
the
basically
Georgia
get
game
an
are
extra
big.
home game with Georgia, Florida being in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Oh man, no Jacksonville this year.
No Jackson, so no Wintersville either.
Oh, buddy, we'll be going. You can wake your happy ass up back at home Saturday morning at 6 a.m. for all I care. We're going to Wintersville Classic. I'm going.
Noted.
I mean, you can feel committed or not. I'm going.
Oh boy, he's testing us.
You can
right now.
you can pretend like you love our job, or you can stay at home. That's fine.
I might go see the fam in Atlanta.
Family.
Guys got family and
Family.
Oh, Mr. Mommy and Me date yesterday. Couldn't make it to work in time.
You disrespecting my child, future child? Is that how we're doing this?
You disrespecting my family?
It's pretty upsetting.
I have scissors, Jay. I'm just letting you know. There's
Why
already
do you
been
have scissors,
Well, I was going to do the top 5, but we're pushing that back to Thursday.
Thank God.
right?
Thank God.
The top 5s have been banging lately.
The
Yeah,
top
you-
fives at this point
You
are
have
getting
had
labeled.
a massive recovery since Marley and Me omission.
Honest to God,
My bad, guys.
dude, we got labeled like engagement baiters with your top 5 list. They were that bad.
Jeez.
Nah.
People are like, this has to be rage bait.
Wow.
Has to be.
Sorry. I left off one name. My bad, guys.
You are making me feel a tad bit uncomfortable waving scissors around.
Oh, come on.
You guys want to debate 2022 UGA versus 2024 Ohio State?
It's a topical debate at this point. I mean, it seems like it's trendy in the world.
This is
of,
the Ohio State or the college football playoff bracket voting of like all time.
Oh, this is why this is in the news?
Yeah, so
Yes.
the college football playoff has started
Yeah,
this
I
thing
know.
where they took like the all time playoff teams and they're putting them in a 12-team bracket and they're based on votes.
yeah, no, don't worry. This wasn't just me off the top of my head. Like,
What would happen here?
add this to the show notes. Like, this is actually an active debate on social media.
Hot take. CJ Stroud's 2022 Ohio State might beat 2024 Ohio State.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think that's a.
And Georgia 2022 beat that 2022 Ohio State team. Isto facto, 2022
Boom.
UGA.
I
still
mean,
wins
that's
this.
kind of how
Well,
I came
Brooks,
to this conclusion
it's
as
And
well.
only-
2025 Indiana smokes them all.
It's only because
Whoa. Did you hear that?
not even going to continue making the point I was about to make because I was going to make a joke. Just hard stop. Let's take a moment and think. Repeat that statement, please.
Nah, I'm good.
Now you're good.
Go ahead with your joke.
You wanted to go ahead and spew out
I'd
a
ra-
take.
I'd
need
rather
to hear
hear
it again.
jokes.
No, I need to hear it again.
Dude, he's having the Malachi Tony flashbacks. He doesn't want to get cooked online again.
At the time I
Did I get cooked online?
They didn't like that one.
They weren't a fan of that one, I don't think.
It was all right.
It
It
happens.
was all right. It
No. Say it again.
happens. The 2025 Indiana football team wins. Should win this playoff
Against
ESPN
both.
bracket.
Against
Yeah,
both.
it's all these hypothetical discussions, they should win.
Really?
Why?
Because we did this to them all the way up into their run up to a national title this year. All your debates about, this team will beat Indiana 2025 will be based off, they're more talented. They have more better players. They played like 5 of those teams this year that had better players on paper, and they beat them all.
Yeah, but none of
They're
those teams were.
only 16-0 football team.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Let's first off, this whole 16-0 football team. Just because you had one more game on your schedule doesn't mean you're a better football. If LSU played in 2019 LSU played in a 16-game schedule, they'd be 16-0. If that Georgia team had a 16-game schedule, they would be 16-0. The fact that you're the first team to go 16-0 does not hold any water, in my opinion. The talent argument holds some water.
Yeah. That's the main crux of the debate. It's like, we did this with Indiana the entire year.
So-
they're not as talented as, so what, they beat them.
So I'll give you this. I'm here for the Indiana this year beats 2024 Ohio State. I'm here for that. I certainly see the vision there. 2022 Georgia would be the most talented team Indiana would face this past season by what margin, I would say. I mean, pretty big margin in my
Jonathan,
opinion.
Ohio State's about to have 4 first-round draft picks.
On one side of the ball.
No. Carnell Tate's going to be a first-round draft pick.
He's not going to be a first-round draft pick, I don't think.
I'm not even going to argue the talent standpoint. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Joe. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, we sit here on this show all the time and talk about you will never have teams as good as they were in that era of college football as you do now.
Mm-hmm.
That applies to this argument.
It does. And look, if I'm not just trying to be contrarian guy,
Yeah.
I'm proud because I do. But this is what they did to me. This is what Indiana has done to my football analysis. They tilted they had such a talent tilt and such a talent disadvantage, and it was null and void for 16 games. It was null and void for them. They're such a unicorn in that aspect. So,
yes.
Oh, they're a unicorn. I agree with
because
that.
for decades I've gone with what you guys go with, and that's what was me. I'm a blue chip guy. Blue chips, like ratio numbers, those matter.
It's not. It's not even blue chips for me. It's just overall team abilities to win football games. If you took a vacuum and placed Team X into Season Y, if you took the Indiana Hoosiers and put them in the 2019 season, LSU is still your national champion. If you took Indiana and put them in the 2022 season, I fully believe Georgia is still your national champion.
And again, we got real bogged down in this pre-show, but all of those feelings are based off. Oh, there's a talent disadvantage. There's a talent tilt, and it's drastic.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That doesn't apply. It didn't apply to this football team.
Let's
Right. What I'm saying is
how much
like-
more talented you are than them did
But
not
the-
apply to 2025 Indiana Hoosier national champion.
The talent gap this past season would be even more extreme in the talent gap in 2022.
Yeah, I think you're coming.
Why? Because there's 13 draft picks instead of 10.
Well, but like
It's not even. I think
rosters were not being picked apart. Like Georgia,
Yeah,
depth-wise.
Yeah.
Depth-wise, Georgia would have. I mean, you get into the twos discussion alone.
Yeah, the talent despair. Also, talent based on draft picks is. I don't like that argument of, oh, this team's talented because they had X amount of draft picks. Overall rosters were much, much more talented than they were 5 years ago. That's just the facts of it, because we've seen transfer portal and NIL and all these things, pick apart. If you're a decent player on a 2-deep, you're out of there. There's also Indiana didn't face a generational player this season. They faced Jeremiah Smith, yes, and I think that's probably their best. Like, they didn't face generational teams from a talent standpoint. They didn't face a team that had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and all of the other players that went with that. I don't think that Indiana faced a team that talented. I don't think Indiana faced a team that had a Brock Bowers and 4 or 5 future first-round draft picks on the defensive side of the football. They faced teams that were more talented than them, and they overcame that, yes, but they didn't face teams where the talent gap was so wide and so generational. So that's why I would say Indiana doesn't beat those teams.
I just wanted to take that stance because I do think the coaching job there at Indiana this past year should change the way people talk about at least that football team.
Sure. Yeah, I don't disagree
And I don't
with
think
that.
we can apply that anywhere else. Like I also was on a show today where the co-host was like, "Oh man, Indiana provides such a sense of hope for other football programs." False sense of hope. False sense of hope. Like if you think you can just go do what they just did, you're out of your mind, in my opinion. So I make those arguments, though they sound contrarian and absolutely out of this world. That's how good of a coaching job they did. It was out of this world. It was abnormal.
Don't want to diminish anything that Indiana
Yeah, no.
accomplished or anything that they're currently changing about how we view college football or anything like that. But
Top 5 videos I wish I could see from a Georgia football spring practice. You want them?
Let's hear.
yeah, let's hear this.
1 to 5, 5 to 1, Jonathan.
5 to 1.
Nobody cares what you think. Number 5. I need raw, all 22 Puglisi tape. Practice footage. I need it.
Yes, didn't even think about
I
it.
need
Starting
it.
off really greedy.
I need it. I need to watch it. I
Bro
need to
couldn't
see
even
it.
ask for the highlight
need to
cut up
see
of
it.
Ryan Puglisi. He had to
Buddy,
go all 22.
All 22. I need to practice access. Give me the huddle. I need it.
Well, that's not spring practice clip.
I need to see a little contact, Petey. Give me a video of somebody getting knocked the F out. I want to see it.
I don't want to see our players.
I don't need to see who it was. We don't need to be on that, but I need a little contact, Petey.
I don't want to see someone get knocked out.
No cat or no soft like hats.
Guardian
Neither. No
caps?
guardian caps. Helmet on helmet. I need to hear some thud.
This man just wants brain damage.
Crack-a-lacking, baby. I need to see it.
I want to see Georgia players have life-altering injuries at
Facts.
practice.
Facts. I want to see a hit that made me go, ooh.
See, I don't want to see that.
You're soft. Number 3.
Not on my own team.
You ever heard of Ring of Fire? What you know about the Ring
Bro,
of Fire?
We were
Talk
like
about CTE.
We were like
This is
the
what I
last
need.
generation that had Ring of Fire. I remember one year where
So no, you're thinking Bull in the Ring. Totally different. Bull in the Ring where we like run in a circle, we're in a circle, dudes just getting picked off left and right, like you're just sending like guys at the dude in the middle of the ring.
We had the Ring of Fire where one player starts on one side of the circle and runs the other way.
Yeah.
And you meet.
Traumatic CTE.
Horrendous.
Not what I'm talking about. Similar version of CTE though. It's basically like board drill, except instead of putting your helmets together, we make you stand at the end of the board and then collide. And we have the whole entire team circle around you.
Oh, I would say my Ring of Fire is much. You're running full speed
Oh
for
no,
20 yards.
yours is certain death.
Yes.
Mine is competitive juices flowing.
That's fair.
I want the whole team circled around, two dudes going at it. And we got to find who's the alpha.
Hey, yo.
We used to have Ring of Fire at the end of every single high school practice that we had pads on, and anybody could call anybody out. That's how that would happen.
Anyone ever call a coach out?
No. The only rules were obviously no coaches, and older classmen couldn't call underclassmen.
Oh, yeah, that's bullshit.
Big boy can't call little boy out. Little boy can call big boy out. That's how that works.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Shout out Kenny Dallas. Number 2, can I see some Oklahoma drills?
Okay.
How'd you run Oklahoma?
Like what?
Yeah, like how'd your coach set up Oklahoma drill? Like some coaches do it like 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive linemen, a ball carrier, and a running back.
That's what we did.
Some people do it an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker, running back, linebacker, ball carrier, or safety.
Yeah, I mean,
Some people do it different ways.
I mean, there were variations of it. We would do like one-on-one blocker versus a linebacker to safety filling. Just it depends on how many guys we had available that day.
Number 1 thing I want to see, a video we'll never get out of spring practice. Do you know what it is?
What's that?
A brouhaha. I want to see a fight.
Oh.
We'll see a fight.
So you went with this of just like things
Things we will absolutely never see.
just football things you want to see.
Yeah, football
happen.
things I want to see that we'll never see. That happen all the time. For example, 5 straight years in a row in college football, every first play of inside run in my college career, we started a fight. It was the offensive line like MO. First play, inside run, F the play, FSU. Grab the guy in front of you, let's go to work.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what spring ball is. We've been cooped up. I'm trying to fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't think Georgia is having fights at practice, you're in denial.
I do want to see it because I want to know how they handle it. Like certain programs handle fights differently. Certain programs, it's just all out brawl until coaches separate it. Then there's other programs where if 2 guys go at it, they go at it and nobody's allowed to intervene until a helmet comes off and then it's whistled. It's almost like a hockey fight.
From the stories I've heard, it is hockey-ish.
Yeah.
All right, let these boys handle it. All right, shit's getting a little too heavy now. We're going to have to break it up. I think that's kind of where the Georgia MO is.
What you guys want to see that we're not going to see?
Ryan Puglisi is good. I'm not asking for all 22 footage
I need it.
of Ryan Puglisi, but just something. I just want to see some action. I want to see him running with the ones. Like, that's what I want to see.
Let me get a rep, man.
I want to see Ryan Puglisi, a few clips of him running with the starting unit. That's what I would like to see. That'd be my first one.
I want to see the scout team player that is absolutely just wrecking things. Like, for example, because you always hear these stories, and they ultimately get themselves a spot on
practice
special
try
teams.
You
hard.
know who that's going to be this year.
Terrell Foster.
To start? Oh, no. To start. Now, he'll elevate out of this quickly, I believe. Zyke Heldon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Zyke Heldon's going to be thrown on scout team first play, and it's just going to be, what? Hey, no.
Hey, chill out, bro.
Yeah, we don't
Chill
need to be
out,
doing
bro.
all
Calm
that.
down.
All right? Jeez.
Calm down.
First day, buddy.
Here's what I want. Like, Cole Spear was probably hell on scout team, and I want to see that clip go viral so people go, why isn't this guy starting? We need to move him in the lineup. He's playing better.
Oh, dude, there's a stone cold lock at a
Jeremy
century.
Bell.
Yes, Jeremy Bell. Ding, ding, ding.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my example of like Cole Spear, a guy who made an impact on special teams and was always talked about as an extremely hard worker. Talked about a guy who's like, yeah, scout team. He was playing incredible for us. Guys like that, I want to see go viral. Another one I have is I want to see Coach Schumann teaching a concept so that when it's ultimately applied in the season, we can come back to this clip and be like, hey, Glenn Schumann was teaching this in spring.
You want the 2022 Tennessee clip remake.
Pretty much,
That's
yeah,
what you
of
want.
my own.
We had a whole song in college for scout team heroes. I'm a scout team hero. And we like had whole lyrics for it.
You guys were singing songs at football practice?
Freaking hated scout team heroes.
Sounds like a
Nothing
softball
worse.
team.
Oh, we sucked. We sucked, brother. We were awful.
I would say I can't really think of anything else that I'd want to see from the list that you gave.
I want to see someone shit talking. Probably someone like KJ Bolden, who's been known to let him know. That I want to see.
No. Give me a full on. You want to talk about being greedy? I want Gunnar Stockton mic'd up for the first scrimmage, or just in any portion of practice. For give me a solid 15 minutes of Gunnar Stockton mic'd up. I want to know what's being said from him.
Buddy, if I were the director of content for Glory, you would already have some of that stuff.
That's what I want to hear.
Well, they haven't.
Oh,
practiced.
no, but we would already have some of it. We would have mic'd him up in off-season workouts. We'd have done something.
Yeah.
Something.
They will. Don't worry.
I'm sure.
Because we all know what he sounds behind a microphone.
Start bench cut.
Oh.
Justin Fields, Jake Fromm, DJ Shockley.
Cut Justin Fields.
We're about
Shockley. Loyalty around here.
About loyalty?
No, I mean it honestly start shock.
Yeah, start shock.
Loyalty. Start shock, bench Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Justin Fields.
I got a much, much tougher one for you.
Let's hear it.
Start bench cut. David Pollock.
Okay.
Trayvon Walker.
Okay.
Michael Williams.
All right.
Are you cutting the number 1 overall draft pick right now?
I'm going to cut the number 1 overall draft pick
You're
because
insane.
of.
No.
Here's what.
Sorry, I'm not.
Who are you cutting?
I'm not. I think I'm cutting Michael.
Wow.
I think I'm cutting Michael.
Wow.
It's a wow no matter who you choose. I can't cut David Pollock.
Here's why David Pollock is starting, by the way.
Yeah, David Pollock is the starter.
Absolute legend.
So Trayvon's my bench.
No cutting there.
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry.
I'm going to bench Trayvon because of the longevity. Michael Williams was a major impact player from the second he touched foot in Athens. Trayvon Walker was a little bit of a late bloomer. I know he had that really big play in 2019 against Bo Nix, and he wasn't the Trayvon Walker we know until the 2021 season. And frankly, he wasn't the number 1 overall pick till he went to the NFL Combine. It wasn't like they finished the season. We're like, there's the number 1 overall pick. It was all Aiden Hutchinson. It wasn't until he tested so well. So I'm going to say Michael is my bench. I'm fine with that. Not to diminish what Trayvon Walker did.
Michael was a little bit more injury prone than the first two mentioned.
He was.
Michael was hurt as a freshman. He was hurt as a junior. So, did we play all 14 as a sophomore?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
I want to say he was.
Because that was the year he wasn't healthy for camp, right? And Kirby talked about him getting off to a slow start.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right.
So, interesting there.
I can't remember if he played all.
Start bench cut. Ranch, ketchup, barbecue sauce.
All right, this may be a hot take.
Cutting barbecue sauce.
I'm with Kirby on this one. I don't have this infatuation with barbecue sauce.
All right, so give me a third that y'all like. Let's make this difficult.
Buffalo
Can't be a
sauce.
layup.
Honey mustard.
All right.
Buffalo sauce.
A good
Or hot
honey
sauce.
mustard. I do like hot sauce a lot, but a good honey mustard.
If you add hot sauce.
With some peppercorns in it.
Oh, dude, come
Talk to him.
Come on.
If you add hot sauce to mix, I'm cutting ranch.
Yeah, I probably would cut ranch, and then I'd probably go honey mustard starting.
I'm not a honey mustard fan.
I'm going to start ketchup, sit ranch, and bench, or cut barbecue sauce probably there. All right, I got one big one right here for you.
All right.
It's an impossible one. It's no winning outcome here. Start bench cut. Nick Chubb, Herschel Walker, Todd Gurley.
Damn it. Oh, man.
You have to start Herschel, don't you?
I think you
I think
gotta
you have to
him.
start Herschel.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's between who am I cutting?
You're either cutting
The
Todd
most
or
talented running
Yeah.
back I've ever watched, or one of the greatest Georgia running backs I've ever
Look,
watched.
this is where my decision boils down to Nick Chubb, one of my all-time favorites. Like, if I had to create an all-time favorite Georgia players list, Nick Chubb is in my top 5. Nick Chubb is getting benched, and Todd Gurley is getting cut.
Oh,
I know. I know.
think-
I can't cut Nick. All right, I'm sorry.
Here's why I'm going to go the other way. Todd Gurley is an everything player. He's a special teams guy. He can do it in the receiving.
one would call this the Malachi
He's
Tony
the
argument.
Malachi Tony. But no, honestly, I think watching Todd Gurley is a little bit more.
No, I agree. I completely agree with what you're saying.
Todd
Me
Gurley
personally,
was
though,
Todd Gurley was more of a dog than Nick Chubb.
Todd Gurley was one of those where it doesn't make sense.
I
You
don't
just look at it and you're like,
I would see.
what is this?
I would say Chubb's more. I would describe Chubb more as a dog.
I'm talking personality standpoint. Todd Gurley would run you over on the sideline and then talk shit. Nick Chubb would run you over the sideline and he's already back in the huddle. Both are enjoyable. Both are great. I love both of them dearly. Watching Todd Gurley get in the face of a Florida Gator and then do the Gator chomp, way satisfying. Now, Nick Chubb, fantastic, one of the greatest running backs of all time. I have nothing bad to say about him. I would start Todd Gurley over him just because of that.
I can't do it to Chubb.
I get
Chubb's
it.
on the team.
I
get
got
it.
one in the chamber for you.
Oh, okay.
What do you got?
Now, this one apparently doesn't relate to you guys because you like have some type of safety measures.
What?
Walking out of the gas station right as your gas tank hits full and you hear that click, that's a good feeling. Or time zone falling back where you lose an hour, all right? Or spring forward, you lose an hour, but you gain an hour of sunlight. Or fall back where you just get a mythical hour. 2 o'clock doesn't exist that day.
So you can go ahead and cut the losing the hour of sleep, getting an hour of sunlight. You want more sunlight? Wake up earlier. I'm not doing that.
That's the wrong take.
Bro said,
the
I'm
wrong
totally against an hour of extra sleep. Wake up earlier.
There is more permanent.
What?
There's more permanent.
moving the clock forward.
There's more permanent value to springing forward because that just means more daylight. There's more permanent value to that. Whereas, fall back, I get 1 extra hour sleep one night, and then it's just dark all the time.
Facts.
That sucks. There's way more value in
dark
springing
at
forward.
5:55 in the wintertime.
Yeah,
like
that
what the hell is
sucks.
going on,
But
bro?
ultimately,
because everyone's trying to go outside when it's 15 degrees. Oh, damn, I can't play today.
yeah, that's kind of also the point of that season of year. There's not a whole lot. There's
My
way
point
more
is, you
value.
You wouldn't go outside if it was bright for 15 hours in the day because you're like, oh, it's too cold. I can't. So it doesn't matter that it gets dark.
That
early.
also plays a
Y'all are
factor.
inside staying warm watching Netflix anyway.
Stupider thing, time zones or fall back, spring forward?
Fall back, spring forward. Super. Time zones make sense.
Yeah, time zones. I can at least.
Everybody
makes
deserves
sense.
some sunlight type shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Whereas, the whole time change thing, just do away with it. Whatever.
Time change is the worst idea ever. I hate it so much.
We should just be on the spring schedule year round.
I agree.
It should get dark late all year long.
I agree.
Look, the sunlight thing I'm fine with. Changing the clocks and manipulating time to coordinate with what time the sun goes up.
Well, you know what I do? I separate my days into 8-hour blocks. That way, by the time of the end of the day, I basically had 2 days.
Cool.
Y'all seen that clip?
No.
All right, I'll send it to you after the show. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We got a great show. Had a great time with you guys tonight. Had a lot of laughs. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button everywhere.